Yo, what's up, everyone? This is episode 122 of the Blrd podcast. As always, we have Green Tuner.
Oh, yeah, that guy. That guy.
Hello.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
He forgot how to say hello to
Yeah. We're all just lagging out today.
Yep.
Creamcast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Dark Side.
Yo, 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 yo.
And myself.
Hey, yes.
Hey, what is wrong with you today, man? What's all these delays?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're literally lagging, dude.
What happened? Did you just have
wait,
stroke or
wait,
something?
hold on. And myself, the undisputed world Blrd podcast champion.
You already introduced yourself, Ed.
DX.
You fall and hurt your head?
Or as you all know,
More
the
so?
Head on the Ground, baby.
Baby.
You already introduced yourself, dude.
I know, but I forgot that I'm also the world Blrd podcast champion. So
Okay, very good. Very good.
Awesome.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that you're the world Blrd champion. It's almost like you had to rig to get that championship.
I've rigged nothing.
I think you did, because I think that there was actually a real challenge between the four of us for world champion of the Blrd podcast. And I do distinctly remember somebody getting tapped out. I don't know. I mean, it might have been me. I don't know. It was one of us, but I know who definitely it wasn't. It was the Ed Underground. So I find it kind of hilarious that now you claim yourself to be the world champion. How did you become the world champion, Ed Underground? Can you please tell us?
By fighting Creamcast at WrestleMania in a TLC match.
Oh,
Yes, with no interference, just one-on-one tables.
So the
ladders, and
first time when you created the Blrd championship, it was a 4-way match amongst all the players. Of course, we're talking about the WWE 2K custom creator that Ed is showcasing on his streams every Monday, Wednesday, or something or other. You had a 4-way match with all of us, and I was there. I witnessed it live, and only bragging about it because I won the first official belt.
Oh no!
wow.
Hold on.
I won
So no,
the first official belt.
No, the belt wasn't on the. There was no belt even created.
Oh yeah, the belt was created. The belt was created.
It was created after the fact.
I mean, I posted the images. The belt was created.
Yeah.
No, it was created. No.
Yeah,
So
well, I'll post it to remind you later. So the belt is created.
I have the stream.
Yeah, I mean, I have literally the image of my character holding up the belt. So
No, there's no character of a picture of you holding up the belt.
okay. Well, anyways, so I won the first one, and then Ed Underground, of course, says it's rigged, and he immediately restarts the match. Another 4-way, because it's the Blrd championship. It should be all of us, of course. And oh, by the way, the first time I pinned the Ed Underground, that's why I win. So the second time, the Ed Underground again does another 4-way match. And then Creamcast pins the Ed Underground in the 4-way match. So Ed gets pinned again. So Ed, getting further frustrated, this was probably, I think, what was it, at like 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning? Ed is getting really frustrated.
Well,
he's getting pinned all night.
The stream at 10 p.m.
Getting pinned all night.
He's specifically getting pinned in the championship that he created by NPCs that he's also created. He's getting frustrated. So he begins the match again. But this
Much
time,
like Frankenstein, his creations turned
turned on him. And can I say, he decided to he gave Creamcast's character a lot of girth.
Yes.
But
I don't know about that.
Oh, he's not girthy?
I'm pretty girthy.
From what I've been told, no.
Well, he's pretty girthy.
He's pretty girthy.
But he's also pretty athletic and acrobatic, and it's funny watching you get frustrated over your own creation.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no frustration.
It was frustration because I find it to be hilarious that we were, I mean, none of us, the rest of us, myself, Green Tuner, and Darkside, we weren't actually playing. We were bots. These are creations that the Ed Underground made specifically to make fun of us or just to include us in the game. And of course, Ed made himself in the game, which looks nothing like him whatsoever.
Looks like a white Little Richard, like a tall white Little Richard.
It's not
really
white.
does.
I don't understand.
And anything, this is a video game. I can make, whatever. If I wanted to make myself like the Giant and have like, I don't know, Shao Kahn armor from Mortal Kombat. I mean,
I'm not saying you're wrong. You are right to not make it look like you, because that would have been
amazing.
I mean,
but I decided to give the game,
you made the right decision.
To give the game, a chance, so it didn't create me exactly like my image. So
you want to give the game a chance. Okay, so that's your explanation of why you've lost repeatedly to bots.
No, you guys lost also.
Yeah, but we're not playing though. That's the crazy thing. We're not actually playing. You've made digital avatars of us, right? And for some reason you keep losing to these digital avatars, and anytime you lose, instead of just taking it on the chin or taking one, you just taking a loss. You decide to rig the game. Oh wow, you're showing everything.
Why do you keep doing that?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I never finished what I was saying. After the second loss, Ed became frustrated and scrapped the whole 4-way fight, which makes sense because we're Blrd podcast. He decided to go just one-on-one, change the rules, and I'm not sure, may have tweaked with the Creamcast stats. Who knows?
Probably.
Who knows what happened there?
Yeah, I can see that.
Where's Zen?
I'm sorry.
He's so ashamed of losing.
Hide his face in shame.
I'm fixing my camera.
Sure.
He's probably crying right now.
It's called shame.
Yeah.
It's called shame.
He's crying.
You guys wish I was.
Yeah, he's very, guys. So for anybody who's watching the podcast now, or even those who are listening, Ed has gone off camera at this moment. He is very sad. He is hurt.
False.
And he is ashamed of his repeated failures.
False. You guys are just
AI
because
bots.
You guys aren't the champions.
Yeah, but the thing is like it's almost the equivalent of what you did is the equivalent of just buying your own belt and then saying you're the champion. Like you got it personally engraved, and then you walk around saying I'm the people's champ. When in reality, you were never elected. You never won that spot. So it's just kind of cringy, I would say, to be the champion when you have to rig the entire game. Like this would be if you were actually like working at WWE and you were like in charge of the storyline and the plot, this would be a very bad storyline. That's all I'm saying.
It was a good storyline though, because it was like as if Vince McMahon wrote the beginning, and that's how you guys won the first time. Yeah, so it all works out. And then
Vince McMahon.
But you were saying, you kept blaming it on Vince McMahon too.
Yeah.
Somehow. Poor Vince McMahon. He again
he can't get a break. He just
can't get a break.
Yeah, this poor guy.
Anyways, if you guys want to see
shitting himself all the time.
A sham championship, check out the Ed Underground stream.
Oh, there's another championship on the way too.
Another sham.
I wonder what'll happen in that
championship.
Well, I'll put it on another 4-way match.
Okay.
With you guys, but it's not the Blrd championship, but
whoever
wins will have 2 titles. So.
And let me guess, you're going to rig this. You're going to rig it so that you win.
Yeah, it's gonna put everybody's stats to 0.
Yeah. Like Ed has So guys, this is we are all kind of big guys. So I mean, that's except for Ed Underground. Ed has the frail body of
a god,
of maybe a 5-year-old
Super
child.
Saiyan god,
very frail.
What is the god of malnourishment?
Yes, yes, the god of starvation.
The god of starvation, whoever that is.
Yeah, but Ed's usual comeback is like, because you guys eat all the food. Yes, because we're better. That's why. But
how is that better?
Because we just steal the food as we see fit. But neither here.
If I ran, you guys wouldn't be able to catch me. Your powers combined.
We don't need to run.
We don't need to run. What we own is as far as the eye can see. So all of that is ours where you're running through. So
you guys get tired if you listen to Run DMC.
All right.
Okay, this is getting worse.
Brain cells on this
Yeah,
conversation.
this is getting worse.
God.
How's everyone doing this week? What you guys all doing?
Good.
Doing good. Doing
Mm.
good. Honestly, this was kind of a needed week of like I guess we didn't we're watching something that we have to go to the theaters in. We could kind of just watch it at home in the comfort of our home. I kind of enjoyed that. Because for the past few weeks we've been going to the movies nonstop. And yeah, I just kind of I was like, yeah, I kind of just want to chill at home for one day or so. Or for one podcast. So yeah, this is the podcast to do it. So I mean, granted, we watched the Fallout episode, Fallout season, which that was 8 episodes in 1 week, which is kind of tiring. So watching for our main review today, watching something that was only like 2 hours long, that was very much appreciated.
Now, do you see why I don't like I kind of cringe at the watching 8 episodes of whatever?
No, because I mean I'm fine with doing it. I'm fine with doing it. I'm just tired. I just don't want to do it like always, like back to back to back. But yeah, I felt fine with this overall. Like Fallout was a great series, so I really enjoyed watching all of those. But it's when we watch something that I'm not really interested in, and I still have to, give an honest opinion about it. I have to watch it. I'm just like, it's kind of a draw. What we watched? Oh, like Halo. Halo was kind of one of those. Like, yeah, I'll watch it. It was a little bit of a draw, but not too bad. So, but
a little bad, but go on.
Yeah, but how about the rest of you guys? How you guys feeling? How's your weeks been?
Not bad.
Good so far.
Good.
Pretty chill. Pretty chill. Couple things look to have dropped here. We could talk about
yes.
couple trailers, couple major trailers.
Yeah.
Deadpool Wolverine was probably the biggest trailer that dropped of the week. It's only 2 months away.
Yeah.
So you got a full trailer. Okay, I'm gonna put this right out there on Front Street here. I did not watch the trailer. I don't plan on watching the trailer. I've been advised that that's the right decision from people who did watch the trailer.
I would agree.
Okay.
A
lot of these goddamn trailers have been spoiling things that they don't need to spoil, and I think that I don't know what's going on, but they like just, I mean, it's been going on for a while, so I just decided to avoid the trailer. Of course, I can't avoid news about it, so like I might as well watch the damn trailer because I keep hearing things about the trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
you're a little, you're kind of if you're in any type of social media, you're going to hear about it.
Yeah, I'm seeing gifs of it. I'm seeing, you know what I mean, like stuff's all over the place. No, what do you guys think? I heard it was a great trailer though.
It's a really great trailer.
It's really good, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's really good.
It was really good, but man, I wish I could have seen some of these things being revealed in the movie.
In the movie?
Yeah, I agree too. Like, there's just certain things that I feel. I don't know if this is a Marvel thing or just because they want to. Marvel hasn't garnered hype for a show in a very long time, or a movie in a very long time. So I feel like they're just trying to double down on really getting you interested and getting you piqued interest into it.
Yeah, because even the last one was like a misleading trailer. Like, you know what I mean? Remember?
Yeah.
For Deadpool 2, where they made you think like it was like a team movie or something. That's all that they gave you on the last trailer.
I didn't really get that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't really
for Deadpool 2, I mean.
For Deadpool 2, okay, that's what you're saying. Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I should have specified.
I'm thinking Deadpool 3 still.
Sorry, I didn't specify. Yeah, so for Deadpool 2, and even for the previous one, they were very selective about what they showed you.
Yeah.
And in this new trailer, Creamcast, right? It's like you're bound to like one of these things we're showing you right now.
Yeah.
So come see our movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's just like Deadpool 3, I think from the original trailers, even from like this from the Super Bowl, like that in of itself was enough to get people excited. Like that was one of the most talked about trailers that showed up for the Super Bowl. So it's kind of like they don't need to do this. And if they would have just continued to not show like well, Darkseid, you already kind of know. So like the show Wolverine's costume and so forth, and all this other stuff. Like, they could have just saved that for the movie. Like, why are they showing this now? Like, they didn't really like focus on that in any of the other trailers. So that was kind of weird to me. That's a weird move. I don't really appreciate it. I didn't like that. Because I kind of want the mystery again of movies. But
interesting that you're like what you just said, Creamcast. I think you're right that they're coming off a lot of duds, and I think they have to do some damage control. Given the fact that it's Wolverine and Deadpool, it's like already the idea is a killer idea. You know what I mean? That automatically garners
interest. It's an amazing idea.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to seal the deal, like you said, and just get the cherry on top of the sundae, wrap it all up, and be like, "All right, money, please."
I mean, technically, it's a buddy cop movie. You have like the one old serious guy and like the loose cannon, right? Teaming up together.
That's Deadpool too, as with Cable and Deadpool.
Yeah.
I guess.
Hey, if it works, it works. You know what I mean? And Deadpool is a really good companion to the straight man character. So, and it's a traditional comic book team up: Cable and Deadpool, Wolverine and Deadpool. So it's like a perennial thing that happens in the comic book. So it can only be fun times. I think we all know where it's obviously knock on wood. We all know it should be good because everything it's coming from should be good. So let's not jinx it. But yeah, I think it looks I think it's gonna be pretty good. Ed, what'd you think about it?
I liked it. I see there's potential. It gives me hope for Marvel. It gives me hope for Deadpool because Deadpool 1 and 2 have been good, but this would be the first Deadpool that's under Disney. So it's giving me hope, a light of hope that it's going to feel like a Deadpool movie. Will it be a Deadpool movie?
I'm pretty sure it's safe to say it's in the right hands. I would say like it's as good as it can get. You know what I mean?
I'm really hoping so. I'm scared.
Seems like Disney is like they're in a vulnerable position. So, or they may have been. No, I would say not now. I'm talking about maybe they saw the winds of change coming and they were like, all right, let's just allow Mr. Reynolds to do what he wants to do and make the jokes he wants to make 2 years ago, and that probably is the right decision now in hindsight. That well, we'll see how sharp he's going to be, and what they'll cut out or whatever. You know.
Well, my thought is if somehow Disney messes this up, you guys can't say anything.
Well, no, I wouldn't. If this gets messed up, I won't blame Disney. I don't think this is I don't think this is going to be every trailer, every news I've seen. This is not Disney's Deadpool and Wolverine. This is very much still in control by Ryan Reynolds, and he's been given license to do stuff.
But who signs Ryan Reynolds checks for this movie?
I think it was from 20th Century Fox before.
No, I said this movie.
Yeah, I think it was he was contractually obligated to do it. So I don't think
I'm saying at the end of the day, when Deadpool 3 comes out and the money comes in, who's that money going? Where's
that money coming from?
No, who gets the money and then who sends the money out? It's going to be.
I'm pretty sure it's Ryan Reynolds. I'm pretty sure he's got a heavy back end on this as part of his deal. I don't know the details, but if he's as involved as he is, especially with Deadpool 1, like I'm pretty sure he had a heavy back end deal on that one. Like, you take the risk, you put it out there, and that's the feel I got from Deadpool 1 is he took a lot of the weight off of to get it made. He did a lot of work, and I think it's the old George Lucas trick where you get the money after once it's a big hit. So I can't blame the man. But yeah, I think this is a lot of Ryan Reynolds, and nothing I've seen is is going to say that it looks bad or anything that
contrary to that.
Yeah.
No,
so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a flop. I think this is going to be good. I think Disney's at a point where they try so many other things and just being sure of grabbing the Russo brothers again. I think they're kind of just being open now and realizing that, man, this past phase has been horrifically bad comparatively to previous phases. So I think I don't say this is a Hail Mary for Disney, but this is kind of a Hail Mary at the same time. This is something that they definitely need, and to revitalize the series. I mean, granted, we came up with really great shows. We're coming off of like Moon Knight. Like, as much as Disney has done bad, especially in the box office, there's been some shining examples in shows. So, the fact that this is tying into like the Loki series is awesome. So I think this is going to be a knockout of the park for Disney. But we'll see what that does for the future of Disney. I mean, we still got Fantastic Four is currently filming at the moment. What else?
Hey, look, right now we're about to talk about it, but say what you want about Disney. There's a certain animated TV show we're going to talk about later on that is killing it. You can give that 100% of that credit
to Disney.
Yeah. Nobody else was involved in that one. They greenlit it. They picked the people. They approved everything. So, I mean, we'll get to that. Let's not jump ahead of the thing here. But
well, I agree with that, but there's also a separation between X-Men and Deadpool. We've seen Deadpool 1 and 2, and you know how raunchy how the jokes are, how crossing the line Deadpool is.
Yeah, I mean the trailers, he's talking about pegging and Disney the same.
Yeah.
And that's a red band. That's a red band trailer. So yeah. I assume we're gonna get more of that. And every indicator says we are. So
I hope so. I just hope that's not it. You know how some trailers ruin a movie.
But here's the thing, Ed. Here's the
thing. What is the thing? So
let's get this out there right now. If this is a success, who are you going to give credit to? Ryan Reynolds, or are you going to give credit to Disney? Both. Because if it's a failure, you will, of course, attribute it all to Disney.
I said both. Like I said before many times, I don't want Disney to fail. I like Disney.
I think Disney, you do.
Yeah,
I think secretly you want them to fail.
You need a scapegoat.
I never said I want them to fail.
A lot of people
I don't want a company or a game studio to fail.
You need a scapegoat.
I want to.
You don't want Sweet Baby Games to fail?
Sweet Baby? I didn't say Sweet Baby. I said.
But you don't want them to. You said you don't want anyone to fail.
I don't want the game studios to fail.
So Sweet Baby is not. You do hope for failure. Studio. So you do hope for failure to some groups then.
If they have a certain agenda, sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Stone Cold. That's Stone Cold.
I'm more like The Rock.
Speaking of things we don't want to succeed, there's another trailer that came out. Oh, I shouldn't have said that's a bad segue.
Yeah, that's a horrible segue. Jeez.
Transformers. What's it called? Transformers 1? Transformers 1 or Year 1?
For some reason.
I don't
know. Just
one.
Transformers 1, I believe is what it's called. Somebody confirmed that for me. But
that's what it is.
This is the new trailer for the new Transformers movie. I saw this in production. When I was looking at what's coming out this year, I was like, oh, cool, another Transformers movie. I didn't say, oh, cool. I think I said, oh, shit, another Transformers.
Oh, man.
But I was expecting what we're used to, and lo and behold, we have an animated movie in very much in line. Like, first thing that came to mind was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Massacre. This is like a fully animated cartoon animated CG take on Transformers, the origins of Transformers. What did you guys think about this trailer?
So picture this. I did this in real time. I saw on my YouTube feed the trailer for it, skipped it, didn't watch it.
Bold.
Posted it. Yeah. And then what was it? Was it you, Dark Side, or one of you two? Someone posted in the chat. So I thought, okay, it must be good because one of y'all posted in the chat. So I clicked on it, and I don't know what to think of it. I'm not really looking forward to it. The comedy kind of felt like Ninja Turtles, the recent new one that came out for the kids. It felt like that. And I can't get over Optimus Prime's face. It just bothers me.
Who's he voiced by? He's voiced by somebody.
Chris Hemsworth.
Is it Chris Hemsworth? Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but the face, I don't know why the face just bothers me.
You know what always bothers me? Yeah, I know what he's got moving lips, right?
Yes.
Okay. And of course, he's not Optimus Prime yet. He hasn't gotten the Matrix yet. So he's Orion, whatever, Pax, Orion Orion Pax, I think is his name.
Something like that, yeah. I didn't care enough to remember.
But that's from the comic. This is all canonical, like that from the original comic. So I don't remember I want to say Magneto, Megatron. He's like D17, I think. I don't remember that either. But yeah, these are all like it's an origin tale for your Transformers that I never asked for, but I know that the story exists, so I know there's good content to pull from. It's definitely aimed at kids, and you know what? It's a toy line that I loved as a child. I hope the kids. I mean, Transformers needs no help from anyone to like. It's always going to be popular with kids. Freaking robots becoming cars. It's like our grandchildren's grandchildren would be playing with Optimus Prime, well into the future. But this is just a new avenue for kids to get the main line. And you know what? I will say this: it's a better avenue than the Michael Bay movies. I want kids because we had the original animated series, we had Beast Wars, we had stuff that was really great. So I hope kids get something like fresh and exciting that's aimed at them with Transformers content. I hope that this we get these Transformers transition into the G1 like on Earth with Optimus Prime and with the being voiced properly. That would be cool, like a new take on the original G1, just a little more bright and colorful. It's a Saturday morning cartoon, remember, so I'm down for it.
I mean, I thought this trailer, it definitely, I have to agree with the Ed Underground. This is a
could be more dark and gritty for you.
Yeah, I want more dark and gritty. I'm sorry. More darkness. I want to see the fall of Ultron. No, what's Cybertron. There we go, Cybertron. Ultron's the one that is like a planet size, right?
Ultron's the bad guy from Avengers.
Oh, then what am I thinking? Yeah, Cybertron, Unicron. That's what I'm
thinking. Yeah. I hear you.
Batman is from DC.
Shut up, Marvel. Anyways, the humor wasn't for us. I think Darkseid, you had mentioned this before. When we had watched this trailer or we had brought up the trailer, yeah, this is not for us, right? This is for the kids. This is for our children and future grandchildren and so forth. This is a Disney Pixar representation of Transformers. And that's fine. I don't think every single Transformer movie needs to be about the old school fans. Let a new generation get in and love Transformers. With that being said, not really my cup of tea. The animation, I mean, I do like the Michael Bay style Optimus Prime and Transformers. That was really cool for us. Being able to see that in CG and see them actually turn into vehicles that you could literally drive, special edition vehicles that were coming out because of the Transformer movies. That was really cool. This is just not it for me. But I can appreciate that they are trying to reinvent Transformers and move away from the Michael Bay CG flare action and so forth that were Shia LaBeouf and that type of Mark Wahlberg, Megan Fox.
The subtle racism of Michael Bay and the sexual innuendo of Michael Bay.
All that stuff.
Like all the things we love, but it's just when you think about it, like probably kids shouldn't be seeing half that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Michael Bay goes pretty intense on some of those ideas.
Yeah, like
rather than being subtle with them.
Robots having 12-foot tongues, kissing characters, and then
I forgot about like robot hookers.
Robot hookers, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it was more.
Nobody asked for it, but Michael Bay asked for it.
Yeah, Michael Bay, he definitely when they wrote that script,
if just asked for it, he probably got it.
Yeah, he was like in the storyboard, like I need to see some Transformer underwear, like I gotta have it. But in either case, it's not for us, but I'm fine with that. But remember, I'm willing to watch this.
What I'm saying is, remember, we I think we said the identical thing about Mutant Massacre, and we had a great time with Mutant Massacre. Remember that. So it's entirely. I like Mutant Massacre. I'm dying to rewatch it actually.
Yeah, I think you're kind of on your own on that one, but
really? I thought you guys liked it.
Which one?
Mutant Massacre, the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles CG movie that came out.
Oh, Mutant Mayhem?
Mayhem.
Oh, yeah, I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Batman
I
DC,
was about to say.
Superman DC, Iron Man Marvel, Spider-Man Marvel.
You know what?
Very good.
Yeah.
Someone pat Ed on the head. Ed, I want you to keep saying that.
After you get your star and cookie.
Give him a cookie.
Yes.
Here. Very
No,
good.
after you get your
Good job,
stars
buddy.
and cookies.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, Green Turner, you saw the trailer just right before the podcast. What you think about it?
I don't know. I've never cared about Transformers, and I care less about this trailer.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Straight to the point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry that you didn't have a great childhood like the rest of us. I'm sorry for that. So, I mean, cool.
Listen, I was watching Topo Shisho. Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the hell Topo Shisho is, but I am going to take your word for it. I don't know. It's like the Bible Black for kids or something. What is this? What's Topo Shisho?
I don't know, some weird Italian rat puppet that somehow was really big in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
You can YouTube it now.
Yeah. YouTube it. It's fucking strange.
I mean, I kind of take your word for it. I do believe it's probably strange as hell. Yeah, never heard of no Topo Shisho. So, but yeah, no, I mean, that's cool. I get it.
Here's my go on.
No, go ahead. I was going to transition.
I wasn't. Never will. But here's my idea.
The views of the Ed Underground do not represent anybody else on this podcast. So,
well, I said me.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, my take on this is I don't think Hollywood has any ideas.
Who?
It's just Hollywood. It's just reboot after reboot after reboot, and it gets nice for a little bit, but after a long period of time, just seeing the same thing over and over and over again, and just not working. It's like we need something new.
Yeah, that's great, but I mean, every time I hear this criticism a lot, but what is anyone doing when the original independent movies get made, when independent comic books get published, when independent stuff gets put out? Nobody goes out and supports it. They don't succeed. They all go out in droves to the next remake of whatever bullshit you're talking about. We support that idea, so it'll just keep happening. So until we start, I mean, even we here at the Blrd podcast are guilty of it. We review the same shit week in, week out. There's a lot of like good TV shows out there. There's like good independent movies out there, but like, you know what? Sometimes
I brought up some things like what's that movie that two brothers who are YouTubers they made. It's a horror movie about a hand. Yes, Talk to Me.
It's so good that you don't even know the name of it. That's how good
it's been a while. Yeah, Talk to Me. It was good.
It's amazing.
I thought it was good.
I literally just watched it this weekend.
I thought it was good.
It was overrated.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Listen, if you watch enough horror movies, you've seen this formula before. This just for some reason got mainstream appeal.
I mean, the premise was cool, but it was very predictable how things turned out. So, but that's for coming from horror buffs like myself and Green Tuner. Yeah, like you've seen enough horror movies, you know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's like the next Freddy Krueger or Jason. I just think, for two YouTubers who are not known in the movie world to, come from YouTube into that, I think that's pretty good.
The one that I want to see that's supposedly, but I think it's a YouTuber or YouTubers is Skinamarink.
Never heard of that.
No, I don't
know. Skinamarink I heard of. Yeah, I heard
Skinamarink. I haven't watched it, but they say it's like it's just like a strange horror movie. It's like sort of a art film /
it's very
experimental. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. So I haven't watched it. It sounds interesting, but
it's so
a lot of these
the descriptions of that movie is so experimental that I probably wouldn't even like it. But I'm curious to see if you watch it. I'm curious to see what you think about it.
Send it, put it in the group chat because I'm kind of curious about that as well.
Right.
There's another movie that horror movie. It's not a horror movie. It's kind of a horror series on Instagram. It's called Uncanny Valley. It's like an Uncanny Valley like hybrid. It's by these two. I think they're brothers. They always in the past they always made these stupid TikTok dance videos and so forth, but they're doing this new one where they're just like like they play as two guys like dressed in white. They have no emotions and so forth, and they just go around killing random people. And it's really cool on how they do it. Now, I really wish they make a movie out of this. If it's based off like the TV show, I think there's a TV show called Uncanny Valley, or something with Uncanny Valley. Like, oh, I would definitely have to check that out. So, I mean, I'm always down to watching. I mean, we used to do horror stuff back in the day. I mean, I know we did Hellraiser. That's the one that came to my mind quickly. So yeah, we should do some horror stuff relatively soon, especially when there's a lull.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
I'm down for it.
But Dark Side brought up a great point. Like, we don't support the independent stuff or the stuff that's actually new. Like
I do when I can.
The one thing that me and Green Tuner have been begging you guys to review is The Boys.
I
actually,
God.
It's coming.
That independent series, The Boys, that's rarely watched.
But the thing is, that's a fresh concept that we're not used to seeing. That's what I'm saying. It's not independent in the sense of independent filmmakers. Of course, it's backed by a huge studio, but it's an idea that was very well executed that a lot of people didn't think at one point could be televised, and we see that it's quite the opposite.
Maybe we should start watching Tongvanese cinema. Like, really go super super obscure cinema. Can
we do like Space Theater, like 3000 type shit? Like, we just all go into a movie theater and then we just film the back of our heads watching like some old scary movie and just give our commentary. Can we do that? I think we should do that.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Anyways,
moving on.
That's food for thought.
All right, let's really quick. We're gonna knock out all these stories. Tesla did a recall recently of all their Cybertrucks, and I know you were on back order for a Cybertruck, and a Model 3 and the Model Y and all these other Teslas, from Daddy Elon.
I said it before and I'll say it again. There's only two Teslas I like. That's the Model 3 and the Model X with the doors that fold up or whatever. The first one, never liked it. Still don't like it.
Okay, so anyways, the Model 3 that you love, or the Model X. I know you believe in almost everything that Elon does. So I mean, now they got recalled because they had the ability to get the gas pedal stuck, and then you just accelerate forever and cause crashes and so forth. And I think I don't know if there's actually been any documented cases of those crashes happening. But they recalled all 3,000. I think it's like 3,500 Cybertrucks, which is absolutely crazy.
I actually saw one.
Oh, you saw a Cybertruck?
Yeah.
What were your impressions?
Did it crash into something?
Yeah,
no, it didn't crash into anything.
He's like, yeah, it crashed into me. That's crazy.
So I'm not into trucks. Nor do I really want a truck. I don't have a desire for it. Cybertruck looks nice. I think it's nice enough to kind of pique my interest of getting one, but I'll never get one. Although, now I saw a concept of someone taking the actual Cybertruck and making it into a
slammed it.
A what?
They slammed it.
No, I saw a concept of someone taking the Cybertruck and turning it into a car. So, but it looks really nice as a car. If Elon Musk did that, turn like a Cybertruck into a car, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about later.
Yeah,
but
like
it looks...
make an El Camino. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's like someone turned a Cybertruck into a concept, almost like a import car. So it's low, and I think like the back is kind of like cut off, so it's like a size of a car, but it looks really nice because of the front.
Yeah,
but beyond that, I'm not into Cybertrucks really.
Yeah, I seen like a Cybertruck where they slammed it, and I think I don't know. I think they changed the wheels, but it looks actually with the lower profile, the Cybertruck is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I wouldn't personally get one because I just don't need a pickup truck in my life. I would rather just have a CUV or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that kind of sucks that I mean, even with the Cybertruck saying like the recall, I think Tesla's like stock still went up. I think it went up like 10%, which is absolutely crazy. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you get a Cybertruck, be at your own risk. You might just accelerate into a body of water like the underground does every time it rains. So absolutely crazy.
False.
Or cornfields, whatever, which one fancies that day. You know, you just can't keep that man on the road. He is an off-road beast. So
my eyes on a Model 3. That's it. It's affordable. It's minimalist. Gets the job done. Good miles. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's be honest. You don't care about none of that. You just want to be a hipster. You look at it and be like,
I drive a Scion. I can care less what people think about what I drive. It's what I want when I want to drive.
I'm sure it. You drive that Scion because you're a hipster too. So
you wish I was a hipster.
I don't wish anything. I just know what it is. You want to be a hipster. You want to go drive to the city, go to some indie coffee shop with a scarf on, and then walk out to your Tesla and
I was gonna say he's got a scarf on.
Yeah, he has a scarf on, guaranteed. It's like everybody's gonna be looking at him like, "Oh my god, is that him?" And then Ed's thinking,
"Is that the Ed Underground?"
Yeah, they're like, "Is that the Ed Underground?" Because why the fuck is he wearing a scarf? It's 100 degrees outside. Mind, yeah. Why is he wearing a scarf and a beanie? It's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah,
like man,
hot as hell.
Yeah, that guy, he's drinking a hot coffee outside, not a iced coffee. Like, this guy, he's fucking something else. Oh, that's a concept car. Yeah,
looks good though.
Yeah, it does look good, but I mean, that's
at that point, why just not buy a sports car?
Yeah, I was about to
say, well, what is the point of this?
Just give me a C8 at that point. Yeah, just give me a C8 and call it a day. But one car I would get if I was gonna go for electric would be the Mach-E GT. The
Mach-E GT.
Yeah, the Mach-E GT, which is the Mustang. The
electric Mustang.
The electric Mustang. Well, yeah, it's a CUV Mustang.
It's not bad.
Yeah, they're turning those into they're gonna be adopting the charging standard of Tesla. So they will be.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And Ford is one of the first companies to do so with their Mach-E's next year. So then you can use superchargers, you can use all that stuff that Teslas do. The whole Tesla charging network, you can be able to use with your Ford electric vehicle. So I will 100% get that because I saw that car actually dropped, and that car looks beautiful with like a new tires, bigger rims, bigger tires, rims, and so forth. Very beautiful. But
I actually test drove a Model 3. It's very nice.
Yes, you told us about that. How you test drove a Model 3. So I have not driven a Tesla myself. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be in the market for a new car anytime soon. But if I ever decide to going into like an office job again, where I actually have to drive into work, I will 100% get a new car. There's no way I'm gonna be driving in traffic, foot on the gas, brake, foot gas, brake. Nah, I ain't doing that shit. So
I'll say this last thing about car stuff, but when I test drove the Model 3, he allowed me to put it on autopilot, and in the beginning, it is so freaky. Because you're literally taking your hands off the steering wheel, and it's turning.
Safe.
It doesn't sound safe.
No. With Ed driving, that's actually the safest.
That's actually pretty safe. I was gonna say.
You know what? Yeah. I stand corrected.
Yeah. It's actually a very good thing. It's actually a very good.
Yeah.
Watch that.
Ed, get a Tesla, please.
Please, Ed.
Please get a Tesla.
Ed's Tesla automatically like veer into the nearest body of water.
No,
it becomes infected with Ed's mindset.
Yeah. Ed is the virus. He'll get in there.
No,
it picks up the driving habits of his owner. It's like, there's a.
Tesla headquarters, like he drove into a
cornfield.
We don't understand why.
There's a Fast and Furious guy driving.
Yeah,
but no,
I
let it drive itself, and it was pretty cool. The first 5 minutes of me doing that.
The Tesla dealership guy, did you breathe a sigh of relief when the autopilot took over?
Yeah.
No, I breathed a sigh of relief because it was turning on its own.
Oh, okay.
On a ramp too. So
the autopilot was veering away from the cornfield, and it was
Ed was trying to run the car into a body of water.
No.
and so confused, like what? There's an empty
What's going on?
cornfield.
Why can't I go into the water?
Yeah.
It's like
It's
Wawa.
calling me.
Wawa.
Yeah, like,
It's calling me.
there's a great cornfield right there. Great
Yeah.
harvest. I need to harvest that corn.
At least I never hit a deer before. Oh,
That's fucked up, Ed.
Who hit a deer?
Yeah, who hit a deer? That's true.
Yeah, who hit a
So
deer?
on this podcast.
Who?
Who hit a deer?
So on this podcast, not me.
It's not. It doesn't.
No,
need to
it
be
wasn't
seen.
an owl. It was
Not
a deer.
Me?
Yeah. I guess
It was that Creamcast.
Yes,
I hit a deer. I did hear it. So I was seeing if he actually remembered. Yes, I did hear a deer.
I totally forgot.
Ed,
of course you all forget, but hey.
No, hold on. He didn't hit a deer.
The deer hit me, technically.
The deer hit him.
Oh my goodness.
That is a big difference.
The water didn't hit you.
You drove into a body of water, bud. Yeah, that is a different thing.
I did purposely
into the second.
I know what you're saying, Ed. But
yeah,
a moving independent deer is different. I know in your mind you're like, I'm gonna get it with.
No, you can.
You're right. Analyzing this, you can see all the flaws.
You can plainly see a
House
deer.
of Cards. House of
you
Cards.
You can plainly see a deer. You can't.
You can't see a giant body of water
in the middle of the night when there's no roads blocked off and you're driving through a dark forest
where your headlights not working,
surrounded by lakes.
Where your headlights not working.
And so so what do you think? Like, how do you think the deer concept works?
You ever heard the term deer in headlights?
That's not what happened. That's not what happened though.
But how come people? No, yeah. But why do people hit deers?
Wait, hold on. What does deer in the headlight have to do?
You can see the deer before you hit it.
Yeah, but the deer's a moving object. It depends on what the deer. What if
that
it
doesn't
cuts
mean
right
that
in front of you?
Ed, the phrase "deer in the headlights" mean basically that the deer just freezes because it sees you. It has nothing to do with. How are you relating
so you
this?
have an opportunity to move around from it.
So wait, hold on. Ed, do you think in all cases where deers are hit by cars and cars hit deers, you think that the deer walks out into the road and there's a moment where they lock eyes with each other and the driver chooses to hit the deer? Is that what you think happens in this situation?
Never know. Some people probably do.
So that's what your concept of the deer thing accident.
But your concept of me supposedly just driving into
you drove into a body of water. There's no
twice.
One.
Yeah, twice.
No, I did not. It was just one time. And at one time, it was in a dark forest. There were no lights on. My lights are on. And there are lakes surrounding the forest.
Was the body of water moving and frightened and it stopped in the middle of the road?
No, it was in the middle of the road. There's no road hazards or anything.
Right.
It was just there. And I wasn't the only person.
They didn't finish constructing the road.
But there's a second car that also went into that water also.
But remember the story where it was like there was someone else stuck in the water too in front of him. He justified it like,
oh no, it wasn't in front of me. No, it wasn't directly in front of me.
No, the person
on the side.
The other person was stuck on the side.
Yeah, on the side. Yeah. Oh, it wasn't directly in front of me.
Well, it makes it even worse. So you
should worse. No, I'm avoiding the guy that's actually stuck in water. I'm on the road. Where you can see the patterns of the road, the lines. Sure. My lights are on.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a humongous lake. It was like a gap where you can actually see in between where I'm going. And then boom, there's the water, and then you can see the road again.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It sounds like
you would think it's like a puddle or something. Like, okay.
So it sounds like to me that you drove on a fishing pier and you thought that was the road for some reason.
The road just
ends. No, I drove in a dark
He's going
forest.
over the boards.
In a dark forest.
What's going on? This is weird. Man, this is a really bumpy road. It's crazy.
I drove in a dark forest. There were no lights on. Just my lights. It was a storm.
Yeah.
I was going home.
We know what he was doing.
It was a rainstorm.
Were you bird watching?
No.
Bird watching.
Even better. He was wolf watching. And he had to drop off the wolf by off of the forest.
Oh, this was way past that. No. That's back when I had a Honda. That was back when I had a Honda.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was back then. No.
Good day. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna continue to tell that story forever and ever. The Ed Underground driving into bodies of water at will and cornfields.
the undisputed world Blrd
Water
podcast
diver.
champion.
Yes.
The Ed Underground.
Ed, I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to cars, you do 100-meter freestyle very well in water. Your times are unbeaten. You can drive literally through an Olympic pool of water.
Yeah, you're the Michael Phelps of driving.
Yeah, you really are. So it's amazing.
Yeah, like what's your insurance? Like $2,000 a month or something?
No, it's actually pretty low.
They just look at his proximity to any bodies of water. They're like, oh nope, gotta bump up that rate. Like, this man pretty much has either he has a motorboat for a home.
He has to go to Arizona in order to get a price break.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you gotta be landlocked. We can't like, sir, we're gonna put you in Nevada, and that's the only place where you can legally drive at. Oh, so we got comments from Only Toes says SBI. He apparently gets really excited about SBI, based on previous podcasts. And then Bandito Max
what
says,
is SBI?
Sweet Baby Inc.
Oh,
shit. The greatest group of all time.
It is the best group of all time.
It really is. So then he said, Bandito Max says there's a lot of EV options than Teslas these days anyway, which is true. As was an Aqua Rover. I think that's with you, Ed, with you and your aquatic driving. He says lakes have been known to jump out into the roads at speeds past 55 miles per hour. Yep, that's very true. like they say, the old time saying is like, a lake caught in the headlights. It just a lake just freezes up, and then you just gotta go ahead and drive through it. And then last one, it says Bandito Max says, "Don't speak without a lawyer, Ed." So, craziness. Moving on, really quick. TikTok, the TikTok is getting banned from the United States. USA. So they have the bill proposed that they have 1 year, I believe, to sell off TikTok to an American company.
Who put that picture up there?
I have no idea what you're talking about. And we gotta get to these stories, man. What are you
talking about, then?
We're almost an hour in. Hey, I don't
know. I looked at the actual stream and I saw a picture. What's it called? A controversial. What's the correct term? Word? Conspiracy picture.
Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's weird. I have no idea what you're talking about, sir. But
I do.
TikTok has 9 months to switch over. Pretty much, the company has to switch over to an American-based company. So yeah, that's really, really, I guess. I don't say it's great. The conversation behind it is getting kind of cringy. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody's like, "Oh, free speech, free speech, free speech." This has nothing to do with free speech. All has to do with data, pretty much data management. That pretty much TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, and that the data of users could potentially be used to exploit American citizens by the Chinese government. That's the only reason why this is coming up. It's not because the United States government is trying to limit the free speech of individuals or free speech of American citizens. It's literally for data privacy, and they do not want the Chinese government to have access to all of this data from American citizens. So I think it's a good thing.
Only American social media companies can steal our data. God damn it!
Hell
That's right.
Yeah, buddy. Hell yeah, brother.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like it. I wish TikTok was gone. I feel like it is a bane on society.
Dude, where else am I gonna dance to the latest hot tunes that the young ones are listening to?
Yeah, like hello, fellow children.
Hello, fellow youth.
Youth. Where?
I think this is what they call twerking.
Yeah. Right. Like, oh man, I'm about to pop lock it. This is crazy. About to bring it back. Like, no, I'm totally fine with TikTok being gone. I know, Ed. I know you are a big user of TikTok. I know you do keep up with the use of today.
Yeah. Well, he is a 20-year-old Dominican man.
He really is.
28-year-old Dominican.
That's what I said. 28-year-old.
Oh, they said 20.
Yeah.
But so I have some thoughts about this. So I do have a TikTok. I got around 200 followers, probably like 190, I think.
Okay.
I post things that actually, put time and effort into it.
Sure.
And I see that I would say I have probably about close to 100, maybe 80 videos.
Okay.
I think only 3 of them got in the thousands of views.
Okay.
And I have like around 190 followers.
Okay.
My TikTok sometimes blows up with fake accounts, so I literally just turn off the notifications.
Okay.
That's me. But there are actual people that are making money from TikTok
Yeah, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah, and some people like created jobs because of TikTok. And for some, if TikTok goes away, then in a way their jobs goes away too.
Okay.
So there's also
titties. That happens all the time. That
Yeah, what are you
happened
gonna
with
do?
many other social media platforms.
Yeah.
Look at Vine.
Yeah.
Vine was one of the most popular.
Vine, thank you.
Yeah. This is basically Vine. in a way.
Well, it got Instagram ended up buying it out. But
Yeah, I mean, look at
What will we do?
Logan Paul came from Vine, and other people came from
What will
Vine.
we do without our precious social media people? I'm sure we'll survive, and I'm sure some other
We will.
douchebags will rise up from the dirt
Yeah,
and take their
Probably.
place.
yeah, there's
I
gonna be
think
Yeah,
we'll
don't
be
worry.
fine.
There's
Don't
something
cry.
else.
I'm
Don't cry for the
I'm
TikTok creators.
not worried about it, but I'm just saying as a content, I'll call myself a content creator. I make
Mhm.
YouTube
I will.
videos, TikToks, Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, all day, all night, baby.
Yeah, OnlyFans.
Ed Underground.
Yep.
Subscribe.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I'm just seeing it from a different point of view. If I saw myself in that position where I was actually making money from TikTok,
Mhm.
I would be upset. I
Yeah,
would be.
you could be upset. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
Be upset.
you're fine. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You are entitled to be upset. But the
Yeah.
thing is that at the end of the day, the interests of of America outweighs heavily than some TikTok creator who wants to dance and make $20,000 a video or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just not important. So
But-
when you have, I mean, like even with the idea of TikTok in of itself, like Green Tuner says, and everybody always says this, like, oh well, data, American companies steal your data and they market and so forth.
What?
But that's harmless. But that's harmless overall, right? You getting put into an algorithm to figure out if you would be more willing to buy peppermint toothpaste over vodka flavored toothpaste is not going to compromise the safety of the United States. I think people don't realize. I think this is where a lot of people are naive. They think that every place in the world loves Americans. That America, as the country and nation that we are completely safe from adversaries across the world. And that's just not the truth. We live a very cushy life, but there are true threats out there to our livelihood. For our infrastructure, to our infrastructure meaning buildings, our security, our economic status, and so forth. There's a lot of other forces out there. China, even though we're one of the biggest importers for China. I mean, China at this point, a report just came out recently that between China and Russia, that they remove any transaction in between the two of them. They remove the US dollar as a currency, which could possibly start showing the weakness of the dollar. The dollar is pretty much the currency of the world at this point. So the fact that two of superpowers in the world are no longer using the American currency as a form of currency in between when exchanging goods, it can weaken the effect of the dollar.
Depreciating the value of the dollar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our money, my money,
my money.
Ed.
But the thing is that if China is willing to do that, right? Once again, one of our biggest exporters or importers of goods. What do you think they will do with the data that they get for free from millions of Americans? And they can use it for whatever nefarious purpose that they want.
Yeah.
So yeah, this makes complete sense that a Chinese company that is in charge of a social media network, the social media network that they have in China is nowhere near that TikTok over there is nowhere near close to the TikTok that we have here in the United States. I mean, it's literally, it can be used like TikTok, social media can be used as propaganda. We see that all the time with misinformation being spread out.
Misinformation, yeah.
Like, I mean, with like with the Baltimore Bridge collapse, within hours, and I watched videos. I think I talked about this. I'm saying hours, large scale attacks of misinformation was spread by foreign nationalists, by foreign entities. So the thing is, like, if they have social media accounts of millions of people and can go through that data and tailor it however they want to, they can be able to find perfect ways to how to infiltrate the American politics, American economics, or American economics, infrastructure, and so forth. So I think this TikTok thing is great. If it gets owned by an American company, great, and then TikTok continues to thrive, I'm totally for that. But no, it should not be owned by a foreign company in the United States where data brokering can happen that can compromise the safety of the United States.
Wasn't there asked by Congress, like Congress asked them to just disclose their the controlling members are? Like, wasn't that
by
there?
10
Yeah,
or
they
something
did.
like that?
They did. They tried to do that.
That was like, wasn't that the ask that they had to disclose certain information about who
owns TikTok?
Who owns where's the ownership of TikTok? They didn't want to disclose that
because the problem is that if they disclose they have ties to Chinese government, Chinese government and Chinese officials. So the thing is that yes, they don't want to disclose that because then that is almost guaranteed way to get TikTok permanently banned in the United States. So instead of showing their hand, and like a lot of this is speculation. Like there's no solid proof as of yet, as far as I know, that China is actually data broker and taking all this data and brokering it for themselves for
but why would you risk billions of dollars of profit unless you do have something to hide? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Why even go down this road?
Well, exactly, and that's 9 times out of 10 they're going to sell it to an American company, and the American company is going to be in charge of it, and so forth. Like I said, I don't think there's been any 100% solid proof that that's what TikTok is doing. It's been heavily speculated, and it might be proven to the fact that they know it's happening. They just don't know exactly where it's going to, and so forth. So,
well, I mean, like here, like you said, there's YouTube Shorts, there's Instagram Reels, there's I believe there's rumors that Elon's bringing Vine back. So like, there's stuff that's going to step into the
there's
vacuum.
Always things that are going to pop up too. A new one.
These idiots, when they eating their Tide Pods and dancing and pranking people, these morons, they'll have an audience.
That was happening before TikTok.
Sure, and they'll continue to have an audience, and you'll be fine on whatever else.
Well, I'm just saying from the perspective of those who actually, had started the business with TikTok.
Yeah, it's mostly. That's what I'm saying. It's mostly like stupid stuff, though. Like,
no,
I mean, you'd be surprised. How much of TikTok is actually useful?
I would say just like Instagram, majority of it is not actually useful.
Garbage. Most of it is garbage. I mean, I'm sure there's good stuff on there. Yeah, I've stumbled upon it.
Stumbled, yeah.
Said it right.
You don't normally stumble.
You didn't hear what I was going to say. I stumbled upon really good TikTokers and really bad TikTokers.
Okay, so
I stumbled upon a lot of people who are actually, using it as a business to help others, or using it as a business to be a streamer or.
But would you say like 9 out of 10 of them it's garbage? 9 out of 10 of it is garbage.
It can be half and half. Like my TikTok feed is now mostly animal videos and let's just say dancers. Let's just say that.
Okay, so anyways, 9 out of 10 is garbage.
Garbage.
Like, can we all agree with that? Like,
absolutely.
I'm not getting anything of value off of TikTok, and most of the time when you're done with it, you feel like you've wasted a lot of time. Right.
Well, the funny thing is that I really appreciate this about Ed, because he thought that by letting him finish, like, he was going to say something that was going to be astronomically different than what we were saying in the first place. Well, let's
say this. Without TikTok, there will be no Instagram Reels. There will be no YouTube Shorts. YouTube even had stories at a time, but that didn't do well, so they actually stopped that. But YouTube Shorts never existed until TikTok was big.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, of course, there's going to be, with competition, there's going to be inspiration for new things. But at the end of the day, that doesn't change anything about what's being said. At the end of the day, like, let's assume, like, let's say with TikTok being what it is, and it's created all these other things, that's great. Now we have all that with Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and so forth. what else does TikTok offer at this point other than being a distraction of another social media platform? Now, TikTok does pay a lot of money when compared to ad revenue between like Instagram versus like TikTok. The same ad that you put on YouTube Shorts or like Instagram, you can make probably 10 cents to the dollar that you would make on TikTok, which is great. It's great for those users or great for those content creators. But at the end of the day, TikTok, everything that TikTok can do can be done on other platforms now. So outside of the competition of, as far as AdSense revenue, that's really the only thing that I see that TikTok has over the rest of these platforms. Like Instagram is oversaturated. Really, no one does YouTube Shorts to the extent of like trying to make a lot of money off of it, and so forth. So that's all really what it is. So, like I said, for American interests, as a nation, like I understand that social media is cool. Like, hey, I'm distracted, but like I said, there's real world threats out there that people don't see on a daily basis because they're so ingrained into their own world that if a major event happens because of TikTok, I mean, was it worth it at the end of the day just to see some fucking Taylor Swift dances? No. So
yeah, I don't want to see that either.
Yeah. So I'm happy. Like I said, I'm happy. I'm happy that it's getting banned and getting sold to American company to manage it, and then we go from there. Blah blah blah. But yeah, that's the TikTok ban as at the moment. So we'll see what happens. All right, so really quick, a quick review. It was something that I had brought up last week. I don't know if I brought up on the podcast, but I went to go see Civil War when it first came out opening weekend, and other members of the podcast had shown interest in it. I think the only person that has watched it is Darkside. Green Terror, did you watch it?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch.
Okay, so yeah, me and Darkside, Ed Underground. I'm not even gonna waste my time asking because I know you did.
Wait, ask me.
I'm good.
What if I did see it?
Okay, Ed Underground. Did you see Civil War? Did you see Civil War?
So I actually did not see it.
A fucking idiot. An idiot.
I knew it. I knew.
I can't stand him sometimes.
Yeah, I knew he wouldn't be able. He wouldn't watch the show, so I knew he was full of shit. Anyways, all right, Darkside. You and I saw Civil War. Yeah, Bandito Mac is right. Dark Ed reigns. Ever since Ed listened to Linkin Park about a week ago.
Starts with one.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm going in dark mode.
Emo.
Yeah, he has the white paint beside him with the black paint. Like, yeah. Anyways, Dark Side. So you saw Civil War. What'd you think about it? Let's talk. Let's have a quick chat.
Yeah. It's a really good movie. It's a little slow paced for what I thought it was, and it ramps up in the third act and gets really, really interesting towards the end. But yeah, it's about our possible future, another alternate reality. I will say it's like it's very visceral and real, and like at the end of the movie when it's over, I had this like, some movies where you're like really invested in it and it's really good and you're like, this is a really great, story and it's a good universe, and you're like, you kind of want like more content out of this universe.
Yeah.
For me, it was just like when it was over, when the story concluded that they were telling you in this very big story, even though there's a lot of questions, it's such a sense of dread and depression in that movie that I'm just like, it's over. I never want to go back to this universe again.
Yeah.
Let me just go back to my sweet reality that I live in, and hope and pray we never get to.
Wait, so you guys didn't run out and get your Void cards?
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah,
hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. Is everyone here a fellow Void card owner?
I don't have one.
No? Bitch ass.
Maybe I do. Maybe
Nothing
I don't.
more American. USA.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's really. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was absolutely a good movie, and I thought it was have some kind of like political stance.
Agenda?
Yeah, agenda, political. No, you nailed it. Political agenda, political stance, and the movie does not. And I really tip my hat to the creator, Alex, the director, Alex Garland. He does a really good job of telling the story of a civil war. Yeah, without giving you an idea of who and what led up to it. You're just in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you cannot point at certain contemporary political figures and ideas and Republicans and Democrats. You can't point at any of them cleanly and say that. Oh, go ahead. I will say that. Go ahead. I'll let you talk about it because there's factions at war, and the factions don't make sense with our contemporary like politics. And even like one of the characters, like I'm thinking like, is this a world where it's like, are they commenting on like right wing or left wing policy? And like, there's a point when somebody brings up, they're like, oh yeah, you were like the main character is a photographer, and they're like, you're known for the Antifa massacre, but like they don't mention what the Antifa massacre was. Did the Antifa get massacred, or did the Antifa cause the massacre? Like they're very vague on certain details.
Very ambiguous,
yeah, ambiguous, but it's still connected to real world events. But I thought that was an active like idea to put anyone in the political spectrum. You could drop them in, just about anyone, in like the general middle, right or left, and you could kind of see, sympathize with the main characters a little bit.
Yeah.
But go ahead. What were you where do you see it?
So I definitely saw it from the perspective of how you said it, except for one thing. And this is what gives a little bit more credibility to it doesn't really choose a political side, but it talks about a possibility from a real world political side happening within the United States. But before I get to that, the one part I did like was that as far as the story went, right, there was a lot that you were right. There are things that they don't tell you explicitly, like I'm on this side versus this side, and this is why I hate these people. And I'm looking at a map right now of what the map representation of what it was that these photographers were going through. Like pretty much the entire.
There's a map.
Yeah, there's a map. So.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. I'll throw it in the chat. So.
Yeah.
This map kind of shows like the Western forces, right? And that the Western forces really didn't come into play until the end of the movie, the final act of the movie, or like the third act of the movie.
You don't see them till the end of the movie.
Yeah, you don't see them. So it was really cool. And like what you were saying before with, here, I'll put this in the chat so you can take a look at what we're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't know there was that.
So it was really cool to be able to see a lot of these things kind of play out. But the one thing that was cool was as they're traveling from, I think they started from, where do they start from? They start from New York down to, or no, New York down to DC. Is that
they started in New York? The first scene, it takes place.
Yeah, so they were, driving through and looking at, every state that they're going through. They're like, hey, you can get killed. Like I'm from what I believe is that how this really worked on why they were taken as a threat, these photographers, is that they weren't true to the areas that they lived in. So they were photographers and they would be within the loyalist states, which is what New York was. However, they were really from the Western forces, which some of them I think were from like Idaho.
One's from Colorado, one's from Missouri, one's from Florida.
Right.
So I don't remember the other guys.
So Western forces are different than from like the Florida Alliance, which takes up pretty much the southeast part of United States. Yeah. But like anywhere you go, even though you're within the same quote unquote side, like where they have the loyalist states, they might going from New York to DC, we're all within the same side. You might run into people who were anti that faction.
Yeah, because I think the idea was that there is insurrections happening. Well, clearly, looking at this map, the loyalist states is where what I got from it, every part of the country is in some state of sedition or some state of transition, or
depending on what side you're on.
Nobody knows who's on what side at this point because there's so much instability happening. And you're right, they're driving through what would be like loyalist to Washington, policy, like Washington command.
Yeah.
But there's like so much chaos because nobody knows, because it's lawlessness at this point, right?
Yeah.
You're in the middle of war, so it's total lawlessness, and all these major cities have like actors and from all these other factions causing issues, and just like war, like people recruiting people, insurrections, and like forget what is this, Western
taking
forces.
sides.
Yeah. Like yeah. So it's like you can see that it was active war zone in the middle of America, right? But where is your? I mean, I'm looking at this map, and I like somebody said to me like, "There's no reality where California and Texas team up." You're right. There's no reality I can conceive of in our current political climate, but I don't know what. Like they do a very good job of not telling you what the fuck happened.
Well, no, they do. They actually do. So and it's very subtle, and that's the crazy thing about it. It's very subtle. This is one thing I love. So, spoiler alert for anybody watching, but this is really inconsequential to the story of what they're telling. And like Darkseid doesn't even know. And I'm not taking this from any place that I read, so this could be completely off base. But this is why I got on the radio or on the interview. They were talking about the president had signed up for his third term. So he got elected for his third term, and that people were saying it was unconstitutional. So what happened is that it seemed like, just from like the tidbits on the radio and so forth, and from the conversations that we're having, is that that the current president had changed the Constitution and had forced himself to have a third term. Right. And that's what caused the insurrection, where pretty much the third term became almost like a dictatorship, where now he is now president of the United States without having to go through. One, you're only limited to 2 terms as
he also said that he dissolved the FBI, and he dissolved other like political like bodies
that would that would check him. So all the different bodies of government that could check him, he had dissolved all of them, and now he's almost like a leader, like a ruler over the United States. So that's what caused a lot of the sedition.
I think that you're right. That's in there. All that's in there, but I don't think they do. I still think they don't have a clear cut. You don't know. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are in there.
Yes.
I think they also mentioned something about resources too, about like lack of resources or something.
Well, yeah, because it's getting harder when you're you're segmented from other parts of the United States. So now, like the resources of other states that you would kind of depend on are no longer there.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like, they do have stuff, and I'm sure you and I both missed stuff that maybe they added more stuff in there that we didn't see. But I think for the most part, unless you go looking for every specific piece of dialogue, it's not clear 100% what the cause is. But there's a lot of like notes in what it could be. Now, where do you fall in terms of where the contemporary like figure is for this? Like, where do you think
this is obviously a play on Trump.
You think it's Trump?
Yeah, I think with the third.
I think the most obvious thing is Trump.
Yeah, the most obvious thing was Trump. I mean, they talked about Antifa in there, so obviously Antifa is an extreme left group for most people.
But again, they didn't.
They didn't talk about the massacre, but there were but there were real political things that were going on that have happened. So they were, I think, with the third election. That's obviously a play on Trump and the current political climate.
Yeah, but there's no way. I'm looking at this map. There's no way Florida and Texas and the southern United States would rise up against Trump.
Well, I think they would, because at the end of the day,
they would if
it breaks the Constitution.
Trump, it broke the Constitution to that level. There will be some nut jobs. They'll be like, "All right, it's on the inside."
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
It's hard to. It's opposite what you would think. So for the loyalist states, you would think that a lot of the loyalist states that I see here, like New York and so forth,
they're all like original 13 colony states too. So it's like all the OG American states are still loyalist states, and all the other like later to join parts of the United States are the ones that are a little more.
Well, Texas. I mean, there already was talks even years ago about Texas, ceding from
and California,
and California and so forth. So, like, the thing is like, I don't know why. I mean, like you said, I think that was a perfect summarization. We don't know why. What turn of events caused this to happen? We don't know for sure, but we do know that like certain things, like hey, breaking the Constitution, having a third election, dissolving other forms of government that will have oversight over you, would probably cause a lot of mischief or cause a lot of anarchy in of itself. And I enjoyed it because at the end of the day, I think once again, this is the idea that people are just way too comfortable in living their daily lives thinking that everything is sweet just because we're in the 21st century. It's like, these people out here, there are people out there, and there's a lot of good people out there. But if the tables were turned and it comes to desperation, people out here will absolutely kill you without a second thought. And that's what you saw in this movie. Like, people who you thought were just red blooded Americans, like, would stand and up for the Constitution, for the flag, and so forth, to sit here, for the most part, not like the one guy in particular, I'm talking about Dark Side, where he kills
Jesse Plemons,
yeah, Jesse. Oh man, he's always playing that crazy person too.
He's always,
but he asking the two Asian people, what country, where are you from? And he's like, oh, I'm from, what kind of American? Yeah, what kind of American are you? And he was, they were like, well, like, oh, I'm from blah blah blah. But no, where were you born at? And like China, boom, instantly kills him. And like another guy, I forgot what he said. He said something outside the United States. I think he said Canada or something like that. Kills him instantly or some shit like that. Really crazy stuff. And I think this is the reality of what we could expect if an actual civil war happened. And the thing is, it's not like as a foreign body. Like people always want to think of, going to like World War II, where it's somebody that looks drastically different than you or the typical American that you would see. And they see somebody that you would see at our grocery store, at your local grocery store, but you don't know if that person is there to be a terrorist, if they're on your side. Even if they are on your side, will they take the chance to kill you, and so forth. And I thought that was just absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed that about it, because it made, in a realistic sense, it made you fear what a actual civil war in our country could look like. And like I think we talked about it before, America is absolutely enormous. The maps don't do it justice on showing how large America is. Like there are several European countries. We could put several European countries inside of America 20 times over, and that's just probably in one state. So America is absolutely massive. So thinking about you trying to drive, from New York to DC, which is honestly like a 4 or 5 hour drive, from New York to DC, maybe 6 hours. But that 6 hours could be the difference between life and death, and you could, I think in that, and I think in the movie, they got shot at 3 times, 4 times by fellow Americans, fellow quote unquote loyalists.
Again, there's a great scene where like they're like remember when they're with a sniper and they're like, who's in the house? And they're like, a guy shooting at us.
Yeah.
Like, but who's he with? They're like, well, we don't know. He's just shooting at us.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, they're getting down to like the simple, like it's just you're driving along and somebody's shooting at you. You don't necessarily know. It's a free for all, right? So
yeah, it's free. Literally, think of Halo free for all, Call of Duty free for all. You don't know who you're shooting at, and I mean, you can make alliances with people in your own group, but they can still shoot you in the back at any point in time.
Yeah, I think
it's American way, baby.
It's a good movie. Definitely check it out. It's not a total war movie. It's like a road trip movie with like a war background, and then it ends. The ending is like total war. The ending is awesome.
The ending is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. But the ramp up to the ending is really interesting. But yeah, look, I said it in the beginning when I was talking about it. There's a sense of dread in this movie that I just couldn't wait to shake. I was like, I'm very entertained by it, but I'm like, just the hopelessness. Like even when you get to the conclusion of the movie, I'm like, where do these people go? Like, what is the future for these people? Like, I was just like, I'm out of here. I'm just eating my popcorn. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I can't lie. The ending is so abrupt. Like the last couple of minutes is just bang, bang, bang. It's really quick, and it's kind of funny how it ends. I didn't think it was gonna end that way. I was like, holy shit! Like, and it just ends. And like you said, it's that one of those situations is like you weren't expecting it whatsoever. So crazy stuff.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, really, it'll be top of my list for one of the best so far I've seen it this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think Green Tuner, I think you will really enjoy it.
Yeah, Green Tuner, I like it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Ed Underground.
Listen, I am ready. I got my Trump shirt ready. I got my 2024 Trump.
Ed Underground, there's
stickers good to go.
There's a new Minions movie out, I believe you could check out. Let us know how that goes.
I've never been into Minions, never will be.
Okay. All right. Shit.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
try.
there's options for you. I'm just saying. This is an adult movie.
I'll stick to my Interstellars and my Tenet and my Inception movies.
Okay, awesome, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Let's go ahead. We can just go and start kicking off into our main topic, which is something that we've been waiting / dreading / being excited for. The greatest.
Wait, 97. What did you just say, Creamcast?
What?
Yeah.
Excited
for?
Did
that just come out of your mouth? Who
yes.
Creamcast gave it a 10 out of 10, I guess.
Yeah, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I was like, this is one of the most amazing sci-fi movies of all time.
This is dark, cinema.
It's dark, it's gritty, it's what Star Wars was always meant to be.
And he talked about being on Elon Musk's whatever.
Yeah, I'm definitely on Zack Snyder's whatever. Absolutely not. Okay, so we're talking about Rebel Moon Part 2, the Scargiver. Kind of, I think, just kind of plopped up on us. Darkseid had to remind us that it was coming out. I was like, there's way too soon. There's no way that after that first one that there was no reshoots, but apparently there were none, and they were ready to go instantaneously.
The confidence.
Yeah, very confident. Yeah, I mean, Green Turn, why don't you kick us off? Well, first off, before we even talk about this, have we all seen the movie?
Yes.
Only person I'm asking that is Ed Underground.
So, to be the bearer of bad news, I did see the movie.
Did watch it.
I did watch it.
Oh god.
You got us there. I have revelation here.
Okay. What?
Yeah, I did watch this movie. However, I did channel a young, bold Ed Underground and walked out of my own living room.
Wow.
My God.
So I walked out. Because I was like, what would a young Ed Underground do?
What would a young
walked out?
A young dashing
so
highly intelligent.
For real though, I did not watch the last third of the movie because it sucked that much.
Listen,
I just couldn't watch it.
We all love Zack Snyder.
Oh,
great.
Yeah,
we do.
Those are your words.
It took me 3 separate tries to get through this fucking movie.
Not 3.
Yeah, I literally I was not going to watch this movie at all, and by pure grit, I actually finished watching it today.
Wow!
Holy shit! This, oh my god, there's so much fucking fat in this movie. If he could have just cut out all the fat and just left the action scenes, I would have been happy.
Yes.
It's, god damn it, it's god awful. How can someone that makes Watchmen, Men of Steel, and Justice League make this horseshit?
Easy. He has no source material. He's coming straight from he's coming straight from the dome, baby. Straight from the top of the dome. And this is what you get when you get Zack Snyder with no source material whatsoever. No actual storyboard. When the storyboard is already planned for him, he can direct. See, that's the difference between well, I can't say that because he actually helped write the original Wonder Woman. That wasn't as bad as the future.
Yeah, but that helping could have meant that he said, why don't you give her a lasso? And that's it. Done.
Yeah.
He helped with the movie.
And they gave him writing credit on it. Yeah, I don't know. This movie was horrifically bad. And it pissed me off. I can take a little bit of fat, right? I'm fat myself. Let me give me the fat. The fat sometimes give you a little flavor, right? You know, when it's done right, when it's rendered down properly. This motherfucker is just the globby, non-cooked fat, or no, this is cooked, but it barely touched some heat. Disgusting fat that you just want to trim off and you just want to throw in the trash. And all these fucking slow motion. Like, I know Zack Snyder loves his slow mo. I get that. Slow mo to him is like Michael Bay with flares. They just can't help it. But goodness gracious, like there was slow mo for every fucking thing. I'm like,
half the movie was slow
mo. I really hope. I want to Google this, and I'm gonna maybe Google it while you guys are talking. I want to Google.
I think people already have an answer for what you're about to ask.
Yeah, if you took out the slow mo,
what's it? 60%, 70% slow mo?
Yeah, like if you took out the slow mo,
what's the number?
Yeah, how fast? How actual, like, is the show only
hour 10-minute movie, really?
Yeah, hour movie in a span of a 2 hour, like, because all the fuckers, I'm like, that annoyed me so much. And I kept, for the integrity of the podcast, I forced myself not to fast forward through the slow mo scenes, but I was hurting so bad. Like, I was multitasking. I would start something else. I'm like, holy shit, I'm supposed to be watching Rebel Moon, and then I go back and it's still the same fucking scene of a girl looking at some fucking wheat and some shit. I'm like, why are we sitting here watching
slow motion?
Yeah, why are we watching this woman go through looking at wheat for a whole 30 seconds? Like, this is stupid.
In slow motion.
In slow motion. So it's not just like 30 seconds of, like a nice cinematographic shot, and you're just, putting it in just to give an extra little flavor to the movie. No, it's just this random ass chick just looking at fucking grain. But that has nothing to do with the show. Like,
we'll say this, that
so dumb.
It's dumb. I will say this, that it's very, like, every shot he does put in slow-mo is pretty. Like the setting is nice. Like the some of his frames are like
Zack Snyder,
like sci-fi wallpaper.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
Zack Snyder was born to be a director of photography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was born to be a director of photography.
Cinematography or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
which he was in
photography, how the scene is framed there. Yeah, they're all gorgeous and beautiful. You can literally grab some of those battle scenes and still frame it, and it'll make like a really beautiful cool picture. But holy shit,
the man can't tell a story. He cannot tell a story
he cannot tell a story. There's no character depth. There's like nonsensical fighting. There's like trying to get you to care about characters that you honestly
don't give two shits about.
Dude, I was so happy when that samurai lady died. I was like, I just wanted them to kill the kid too, because I was like, I just need this movie to fucking end.
What the fuck was that whole thing with the kid and the samurai chick? It was just like the kid's fucking mute. Yeah, the kid's
so forced.
The kid's fucking mute. He can't even fucking talk. I don't think he talked one. Maybe I think he cried at the end. But I'm like, why are they trying to have this woman be like, it's forced? Like, oh, he's trying to talk to her or do something, and she just looks at him like, that's funny. And then goes back to just not talking. And then she dies at the end. And I'm like, this is so stupid. I'm like, just hurry up and die. I really wanted the kid to die first. And so that she can go like, ultra samurai and shit and start just slicing people up left and right. But no, of course we couldn't get that. She had to save the stupid ass kid. Or the kid saved her, and then she ended up dying anyways. And just like, this is so fucking stupid. I hate this movie so much.
I know how they could have fixed the movie. It's easy how they should have fixed this movie.
Don't do it.
Well, no, you do it, and then Zack Snyder leaves, and then Netflix gets Joss Whedon to release the movie. They reshoot it, put it out there. Everyone hates it, and then Zack Snyder comes back with a Snyder cut of this, and we all love it.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it. That's how you release these
movies.
Is
true. That is how you do it.
Yeah, that would have been great. And I would 100% agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that who's things going in the background?
Who's playing?
It's not me. Dark Side?
Yeah, we found it. We found the culprit.
Yeah, it could have been me.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's crazy to me that we have that, like, Netflix has so much money, right? To do now, they might not have Amazon money to blow $1 million per episode on like Lord of the Rings or whatever. But I mean, come on, like this, like they spent the entire budget on CG and didn't spend it on anything with character development. Like none of the characters I cared about whatsoever. The only person I actually cared about the most was the fucking robot. I was like, yo, when's it? Yeah, I'm like, when is this fucker gonna show up? Then he shows up for literally like 1 minute of action, and
he shows up to kill the 2 mechs, and that's it.
Yeah, the 2 mechs.
Not even. I take that back. He kills 1 mech.
Well, he kills a mech, and I think he takes a gun and he starts shooting people. And it's just like, what is this? I'm like, that's the only thing I kind of care about. But he was so poorly written. Like this dude has been chilling, like been stalking this fucking town for I'm assuming weeks. It seems like it's been weeks, and nobody knows this mech like outside of like the initial people that saw him. Like you don't see like you guys are clearing out the wheat. Like I would have been like, yo, man, get your ass down. Like, dude, you ain't got no you don't get tired, man. Get your ass down here and mix fucking cut some of this wheat, bitch. Like he's just sitting there just stalking, like yeah, my minions work for me. And then he comes in and saves the day at the last second. And then like the backstory of her killing the princess, I don't give a shit about. I was like, I'm kind of happy that she killed the princess because I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, you know, she actually they followed through with the actual assassination thing. But I'm like, I don't really care about any of the characters. I don't care about the king. That blah blah blah. He's the usurper. He kills my father. Killed the king and blah blah. Then the stupidest plot twist. Like, why did you do this? Why? Everybody and all the generals or all the people behind the main bad guy. They're like, why? Murderer. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what's this corny shit? Like. I felt like a little kid wrote that. Like, okay, she's gonna kill the princess. Then everybody's gonna be like, murderer. And it's like, who are they yelling this to? Everybody in the room knows that that's the plan to backstab her. So why is everybody sitting here saying murderer, murderer, murderer? Like they're trying to impress somebody outside of the room. Like there was nobody else outside the room. It wasn't like they had cameras going and recording this shit. So I'm just like, this is so weird. This is such a dumb story. I hate this movie. I think this movie was a complete waste of time. I'm so disappointed in Zack Snyder. As you guys know, I will anything Zack Snyder has done in the past, I absolutely adore. Even Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch?
I still
you read my mind.
Yeah, I know you. I knew that's your go-to. Sucker Punch. Even though Snyder is trying to get a director's cut of Sucker Punch.
Overrated.
What, Sucker Punch? Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely overrated.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yo, I'm really upset. Really, it's turn
Batman
that damn
versus
shit.
Superman.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't want to feel like getting copyright over some showing.
This is YouTube.
I don't care.
What?
Fucking change.
Oh, hey, take that shit off, man.
What the fuck, dude?
I was gonna say he also did Batman versus Superman.
He did Batman versus
didn't
Superman.
like it either.
I mean, I didn't love it, but it was okay. I mean, the last act was absolute trash as far as
Army of the Dead was pretty bad.
I haven't seen Army of the Dead. That's another thing I need to watch. I haven't done that. But yeah, I'm really upset with Snyder at the moment. I really am annoyed that this got greenlit for part 2 now. And then somebody said, and this is very true, we're not hate watching it. We kind of are. We're kind of not. But we are watching it when it first came out. We're only thing we're doing is boosting the viewership of this shit ass movie, which I will say this apparently this was the #1 movie in the United States this past week. That was a big trailer, a big stat that they posted in the trailer. Number one movie in the United States. But we've helped that, and now because of that, Netflix is like, well, shit, I guess we're gonna make the third one. And I think the third one's already made, so we just have to grit our teeth and bear through the rest of this fucking series.
Damn it! Can we just skip the third movie?
No, we're not like just like Ed. Ed is not a spitter, and he's not a quitter. He takes it all the time, and he will swallow it
down.
Yeah, he will swallow
false.
So we're gonna swallow Rebel Moon Part 3. Hopefully that's the last one.
False.
How many Rebel Moons are there?
At this rate, it might be
He's
all.
playing like 6 or 7, I believe.
No, you're not.
Oh,
are you?
Look it up. He's got a plan for multiple.
Dude, this is such
stories.
so far it's like a sad copy of Dune, basically.
You put the cart
Yes.
before the horse on this. Absolutely. But here's the thing. Remember, Ricky, this all came from his pitch to Disney on what he wanted to do with Star Wars, and Disney obviously
Disney saw
no.
the light. They're like, no.
No, again, Disney made the right move here again, and he took it to Netflix and basically wanted to make a Star Wars and Seven Samurai ripoff, and except it's all boring as fuck. I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
6 movies,
the man is a great visionary. He's a great visionary. Give him content and he will direct it. I think he does a great job there, but do not let him write his own content, because he doesn't he needs a writing partner is what he needs.
He absolutely does.
I think he had him here, but I don't know, man. It's boring. It is what it is. I think it's boring. The reviews all speak for themselves. Let's just get to the blurs and move on here. I can't
even get my take on it.
Oh, Ed. Oh, fuck. All right, Ed. What is your take on it? What is your take on it? Go ahead. It better be different from our take.
Fuck. I absolutely
loved
this movie was atrocious.
Oh, well, shocker there.
I actually think I fell asleep 3 times, nodded off, and I gave it a shot. I replayed anything I missed. This was atrocious.
All right.
Terrible.
You good?
Yeah.
That's your take?
Oh, I got a whole lot better out of watching something else.
Okay. All right. So let's give our blurries. I don't.
Good. You guys go first.
I give it a 2.
Say.
You 2?
I'll give it
a
2. 3.
Before we do that, so Rotten Tomatoes for all critics is 21, audience is 57.
57. That's better than over half.
Yeah, over half liked it.
Nice job, Zach. That's pretty good.
Metascore is 31. IMDb rating is 5.6 out of 10.
Okay.
IMB, good old IMB.
Ed, what's your blurry? Ed, what's your blurry?
My blurry is a 4.
All right. I did not complete the movie, so I can't justifiably give it a blurry. It would probably be in the 3 or 4 category.
I think 3 is what I'm gonna settle on.
That's probably
I'm being kind.
Yeah, you guys are definitely being kind. I believe this is a solid 2. I feel like this is.
I take that back. Creamcast just. It is a 2. This thing sucked, man.
What about the robot? What about the wheat? Give it.
The robot was fucking
was
overrated too. To be honest, it was somewhat interesting, but it's still overrated.
The robot was interesting.
The robot was at the end of the first movie. I was like, that robot's gonna come back, and it's gonna be amazing when that robot comes back.
Yeah,
and that fucking robot never showed up for me. You said he came on the third act?
He showed up.
He came at the third act.
Okay, so I mean, I didn't watch it. Maybe I'll go watch it. But like, all right, I guess I gotta watch for the robot. But the robot's fucking missing through the whole movie.
Yeah, you have what's the guy? The main bad guy in this movie.
Which I don't even care if his name.
Yeah,
but he played. I mean, he went from a cool bad guy from Deadpool, Ajax, and doing cool shit, and now this guy is just on a one track mind, which is so stupid. Like, dude, you're on a fucking huge ass battleship, and why are you sitting here worrying about some fucking grain from one small field? Just blow the fuckers up, man. Like,
yeah, like again, the good point. Like when you think about it, they're fighting over fucking grain.
Yeah, like a few things are grain. He wants to bring. I want to bring in the Scargiver, and it's like, dude, just blow it up. Find her body parts afterwards, and then boom.
How hard is grain to come by in this universe?
I mean, just think about it. When you're in another galaxy far, far away with almost infinite technology, we can like almost bring someone back from the dead.
Yeah.
You gotta do it
It's
from
not
some
almost.
grain.
No,
Yeah.
they brought somebody.
They brought
back.
that dude back from the dead, but they can't make their own grain and stuff.
Yeah, it's such a
why
stupid.
aren't they eating Soylent Green at this point?
Yeah, true. Like, I mean, there's
Kill
plenty of
all
people.
those villagers and eat them. That's it.
Yeah,
That's your
like,
food source.
like you can make people. You can bring them back from the dead.
Yeah,
so kill
grow
them, piss them out, regrow them again, and then eat them again. Like,
All right,
absolutely crazy.
We'll send our notes to Zack Snyder on this one. But all right, moving on. Let's get to better stuff.
All right, let's get back. Let's get to X-Men 97. So for this week of our review, X-Men 97, I believe this is, what episode was this? 6? I believe
Is
6 or 7.
No,
six.
7. I think
7. So yeah, we 7. I forgot what was the name of this episode. I'm looking it up now.
Bright Eyes.
Bright Eyes.
Bright
Bright
Eyes,
Eyes.
which was a play on Gambit. Now it's his nickname, Bright Eyes, for Rogue. And also the rest of the X-Men.
Cable. It's also a Cable reference.
Yeah, Rogue said, "What's that, Bright Eyes?"
Bright Eyes, yeah.
So Madeline said Bright Eyes.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So this is finally the episode where we get back to our main plot storyline.
Yep.
And man, it was a good episode. It was a really good episode.
Why is X-Men 97 not missing, man? It's pissing me off how good this is, because I'm thinking this is gonna be some corny little kid 90s TV show. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, this shit is actually really good.
Transformers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or even worse. But this was a really great episode. I mean, last week we dealt with the Storm issue, with Storm getting her powers back. Now, we're back into the main storyline, going back with Trask, Bolivar, figuring out who the fuck created this damn Sentinel that pretty much destroyed and killed thousands of people in Genosha. We deal with the fallout of the death of Gambit. That was, I mean, let's talk about this a little bit more. Who did anybody actually think Gambit actually died, or didn't? Or was thinking,
I thought Gambit actually died. I didn't think Magneto died, and that's the last.
Nobody really dies in comics.
Yeah,
he's gonna come back
again. We thought, I like, when it happened, I was like, well, I'm sure Cable's time travel will. The next episode they'll undo it or something. But man, I think he's dead. I think he's
actually dead.
Well, I think if he's not dead, they're going to undermine whatever story they're about to tell. So he has to stay dead. Also, all the people in Genosha died, and that is important for, I think, what they're setting up for the X-Men after this. Because
storytelling.
It's all the storytelling. So, like, just like Spider-Man, the best Spider-Man stories are when Peter Parker is beaten up and the world is just like everything's going against Parker.
The closest to him dies.
Yeah, well, just like we like to see like our main characters miserable. You don't like to see them succeed, and the X-Men are a perfect example of that in the comics. You can't give them the Xavier dream or the utopia. They try, and then something terrible happens, and you revert back to, because that's the best conflict, right? Man versus mutant, and
it sucks too in a way. Like our most beloved characters, we want to suffer.
Yeah, but that's what we like. I mean, and you know what? That's where the best stories of all those characters come from. But it's not the case for every character. I mean, but just in terms of these specific 2 examples I gave, they're the best stories they have. But yeah, this one. So I definitely think that Gambit is dead. But will we see the character again? Yes, I think the character will come back in some capacity, because like Green Tuner said, people never die in comics. So maybe an alternate version or a future version or an alternate reality. Like, we'll see Gambit again. But in terms of this, you could always morph into him during a battle scene. But in terms of the story they're trying to tell, I don't think he's going to come back. But yeah, it's finally, I think the next 3 episodes are a 3-part arc. So they're setting up, this is their big end game of the season. And finally, a lot of people called it, but I did say last episode, like, they showed Bastion. So it is Bastion. And they did say the OZT's on, so it's on their uniforms. So you got the Operation Zero Tolerance, which is from the comics too. So it's cool. Obviously, it's not like the comics. They're remixing a whole bunch of ideas here, and I can't wait to see where they go, because like Mr. Sinister's a new element in there. Cable His inclusion is a new element in there. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but I like it. Also, friggin' Captain America in this episode was
didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Captain America, that was a treat.
Yeah, like so it's cool. Like I was expecting like if this is going to be on the scale it's going to be on, who knows, maybe we'll get more like Avengers and stuff because this is in a universe where Spider-Man crossed over in the original animated series. So the animated Spider-Man is in this universe from the 90s, and these like Marvel versions of the Avengers have all crossed over in X-Men too. So it'll be cool to see where they go.
Absolutely. I know that they're mixing like stories of like Days of Future Past, the comic book version, into this, and Bastion. They changed it. It seems like they changed his story a little bit, his origin story, or how he's portrayed and how he looks in the comics. I'm very interested in seeing what's going to happen with that. There's obviously a lot of time travel. A lot of things had to have happened for Bastion to even exist. So I wonder if they're going to address all of that as well. Like
we'll
what?
See.
Yeah, I mean, how Bastion is created. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like Bastion has always been created from Master Mold and Nimrod, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always been that, but it was all because he went through the Mystic Forge from Doctor Strange, or Mystic Gate from Doctor Strange, and then he pretty much became an amalgamation of those two. So I wonder, like,
I don't think, there's a lot of like other like magic stuff that's tied into his origin. I don't think they're gonna do all that.
Yeah,
that was a whole other storyline that they don't have
the time.
I mean, they could reference it, I guess. I don't know.
It had to be quick. I mean,
but it seems like they
have 1 hour.
Yeah, but it seems like they're trying to tie it into what they've already done, and so it could be. Did they mention Nimrod in the? Because you're right, Nimrod has a thing in his origin. Did they mention Nimrod in the episode? Because I could have missed it.
You saw like a
you saw
glimpse
his face,
of him.
right?
Yeah, you saw his face. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's okay.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, when Rogue touched Trask. No.
Trask.
No. Gyrick,
Fisk?
right? Isn't it Gyrick?
No,
Gyrick. Yeah.
Something like that.
When she touched Gyrick and tried to absorb his memories, like the last image you see is Nimrod. And I thought it looked like.
Oh, wait, hold on. You see Professor Xavier first.
Yeah, you see Xavier.
And then you see
Nimrod. Yeah. Actually, I thought it was Onslaught.
That's why I'm not gonna.
So I want to talk about Onslaught.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen.
Okay. Well, I mean,
how so though?
So Onslaught is just a consciousness of Professor X and Magneto.
Yes.
And a Sentinel body.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to do it.
Well, Operation Zero Tolerance takes place after Onslaught. So after the events of like what the Onslaught story, you get Operation Zero. So they're connected. The stories are connected.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they might, and especially with Xavier, depending on what state he's in when he returns to Earth. You know what I mean? And he also has a lot of grief and guilt he's probably going to have to process when he comes back. And I know that's going to be something that'll be a problem. So I think, Ed, you might not be wrong. I just don't know if we'll see that this season. I think it'll stick pretty close to Operation Zero Tolerance storyline, which, I mean, they only have 3 episodes left. So, but they set up a whole bunch of shit for sure. Yeah. But yeah. They got a lot of fires going right now to set up the end, and it's really good.
If they're going to finish the season, if they're going to, I mean, obviously at this point we're definitely getting an X-Men 97 season 2.
What the fuck has this not been greenlit for another season? Like, I know it's expensive to make.
I thought it was already greenlit.
Who would write it?
Well, I mean, it took like 5 years for them to make it. But maybe the turnaround will be tighter because they have all the animation going, obviously. But yeah, they took forever for them to make this first season because they announced X-Men 97 when Disney Plus was like unveiled. So however many years it's been since Disney Plus came out, which has been multiple years, like, I mean, at least 4 years, right? 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
Yeah, so this has been in production for as long as that. So I know animation takes a long time, and thank God we got 10 episodes here. But I'm sure that was like to get it off the ground, to design it again, to animate it, to get it rolling. Now that it's rolling, I'm sure we'll have a tighter second season turnaround. I hope they're working on it, but I can't believe there's not news that, hey, Disney's falling over itself.
Marvel said, it says, I'm looking at an article from Popverse. Yeah. It said that Marvel has confirmed that there are going to be multiple seasons of X-Men 97. Nice. So Marvel may have said yes. Disney, I mean, I know they're one and the same at this point, but
yeah, they're the same.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really. I don't think like outside of like a big announcement, but I mean, at this point, with it being as popular as it has been, Marvel, Disney, it's kind of in the. It has to be.
Here's the other thing. This is a hype machine for them because they are going. MCU is going to introduce the X-Men. This is only a hype machine for them to keep the fire stoked and people interested. So absolutely keep. It makes most sense to keep going with the seasons of this. I just hope, like I said, that dude they fired, I hope he wasn't super integral to the overall arc, because man, he seemed like he was really important in the direction of this first season, which is damn good. So maybe you rehire him. I know we talked about it.
You should.
Yeah, but I don't know. Again, like hopefully they got a big map out for a couple seasons of what they're gonna do. So, but yeah, man, absolutely killer episode. Rogue gone homicidal. Rogue gone rogue.
Yeah, Rogue went rogue. I was not expecting that.
Rogue.
I wasn't expecting either. I wasn't even expecting what happened after that.
What happened after that?
Yeah.
Oh, how she killed.
What happened after that?
Yeah.
Well, after he let dude die, and dude came back as a human sentinel.
Sentinel Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah. Also you mentioned it, Ed. Big twist, big huge game changer. Magneto very much alive.
Yeah.
Like I said.
And going to be I don't remember if he captures him in the comic. It's been so long. I know he captures Jubilee and he gets Xavier's files, and that's how he comes out of the X-Men. I don't remember if Magneto's in it, but again, they're doing their own thing. They're remixing it. Would be really cool to see where that goes. But I'm glad to see Magneto still alive. Now, do you think that this is the moment, like at the end of this, Magneto will revert back to being a villain?
I think so.
You think so?
I think this is
that would make sense.
That'll make the most sense. Yeah, especially with Xavier coming back, and then Onslaught being created. I had to agree with Ed that this could be a really easy way for Onslaught to be introduced, right? I mean, Bastion in of himself is a major villain for the X-Men. And with that
being fully funded, Operation Zero Tolerance is funded by the government. It's
right.
It directly contradicts everything that human beings have told Magneto in order for him to redeem himself. So this would be the full scale of Operation Zero Tolerance, like when it is revealed. That is enough to easily to turn Magneto back into like full-on supervillain, because it would be a total betrayal. Like that would break the. And then if Xavier comes back alive, that would also really fuck things up for everyone. But I think that definitely, I feel the tide is shifting back against Magneto to go back to his like terrorist roots, because he's not gonna be happy. He's not happy right now.
This is literally proof that Magneto was right the entire time.
Right, the whole time. Yeah.
I mean, they faced Nimrod in the original X-Men, right? In the original series.
Mm-hmm.
In the cartoon, yeah.
Yeah, cartoon. So yeah.
Or so like future events, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nimrod, like he still exists in the future.
But they didn't go through. They didn't go through the whole redemption arc for Nimrod, did they?
For Nimrod?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Nimrod was always a Sentinel. Like, I mean,
well, in the comic book, he's not. So that's what I'm saying. Well, he's a comic book. He's a morphed human.
Yes.
But I'm saying like he went through a redemption arc. I'm like in the original X-Men series, I didn't since I didn't watch it.
He's a straight up robot Terminator.
Yeah, I remember seeing him like soul. Yeah, I remember seeing him before, and yeah, I remember him just being like his typical like I'm just straight killing everybody. Yeah. And I know in the comic books he's not that.
Yeah, but, he's more depth character.
Yeah, he's actually developed character. So that's what I was gonna say with this. Since I'm missing the original X-Men, like I said, I haven't seen all the seasons of it. I'm kind of curious of how they're going to do this, because if Bastion is alive, that means that Nimrod is no longer alive in the future. So I don't know how this Bastion. Yeah, I don't know how this. Well, I was because I was actually kind of curious. I googled it because I was curious. I was like, what the hell happened? I knew Nimrod to some extent was in the original X-Men. I'm like, what the hell happened? Yeah. And there's some theories out there that who Bastion really is. As Bastion is not the Bastion that we know traditionally in the comic books. That instead it's a different type of Bastion from Mr. Sinister. That Mr. Sinister is actually like almost creator and
of Bastion.
A Bastion. Oh, but then it's going to switch from.
Well, I think that's what they're implied in that scene where when they're going through that lab. They're like the combination of Mr. Sinister's like creations and future technology are creating these prime sentinels. And I think that what do you call it? Bastion says, I gotta rewatch this episode because I only watched it once, but Bastion says something like he's an evolved version of what they've already faced. So yeah, so they faced Nimrod, so it could be Nimrod, but it wouldn't unless he has the memories of the version they faced, which I don't remember. There's a lot of time travel jargon, but I think wouldn't he not exist? You know, I'd have to go rewatch those episodes, but who knows?
Yeah, technically he wouldn't exist, and that's why I'm kind of like, if Nimrod.
Yeah, but technically, Bishop and Cable shouldn't exist either because they've prevented these futures. But just like in the Bishop episodes where Days of Future Past, where he goes back, stops the assassination, prevents that future from happening, goes back, and then Forge is there going like, oh, what happened? Everything's the same. He's like, you got to go back again because something else happened. So they're stuck in a perpetual, like that loop. Future may not be preventable.
Right. That's what it seems like. It seems like at the end of the day, Nimrod exists. Nimrod already exists. There was no redemption arc for Nimrod. He was beaten, and then that future was subverted, as like with the Days of Future Past. That was subverted, but for some reason, it seems like it's still continuing to happen in some capacity.
This like idea that we're talking about right now, the comics are currently like they've been doing it when the Krakoa. Am I getting feedback from one of you?
Is it me? Not me.
I don't know. Somebody's feedbacking.
The the comics right now, they're dealing with like this idea of like the future, and they're kind of like they've established Nimrod as a continuing being that continues to evolve, and like Nimrod eventually goes full circle into like almost back to human, like in the far future.
Right.
So it's an active conflict the X-Men are still facing right now in the comic books, and he's a continuing like adversary, not an adversary, and like he's like the future evolution of humans and machines synthesizing to the like a point in the future where that's the opposition to mutants. So it's like an interesting like story. Maybe they're going that direction, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool what they're doing. It seems like they're trying to subvert what we already know and trying to do their own thing. I'm curious to see what this next 3-part series what is going to entail. Because it looks amazing, honestly. I'm just hoping that at the end of the day, I hope we can resolve whatever is going on for this season, and then for second season, we don't have to wait 2 years for it to come back again. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think it'll be like a 2-year wait for sure.
It's like
animation takes a long time. Animation takes a while, right? Especially the quality animation we're looking at here. Green Tuner, what did you think about the episode? I don't think you talked about it.
No, that's fine. I mean, I like listening to you guys. I enjoyed it. The thing is, I'm not that familiar with the characters as much as you guys are. So I'm not familiar with Nimrod. I'm not familiar with the main guy. What's his name?
Bastion.
Bastion. I'm only familiar with Mr. Sinister. So I think if I had more knowledge of those.
Well, no, I think they're treating it so that if you don't have that knowledge, you're coming in fresh. I think because everything we talked about may or may not even happen.
Yeah,
it's
this
like,
is
okay.
We're talking about we're talking about comic book shit.
Comic book shit. Okay, yeah. Otherwise, I'm like, okay, yeah, just because even Mr. Sinister, you know, unless you know about him, he's not really that delved into in this show, is he? Like they just picked up from where the original series left off, right?
Yeah, they don't explain where he's coming from or whatever. You have to like know from the original series who he is, what he is.
The original series does have a full origin for him, though. So
no, I know, but I'm saying, like, let's say someone that's just starting to watch X-Men '97.
Oh,
right?
you would be lost.
And it has been a while since I've watched X-Men, the old school cartoon, so I have like vague memories of the show, and I loved it. You know, I liked this episode. I just wasn't as invested because I'm really not too familiar with the main characters that they were highlighting. The only thing that I liked was probably Rogue going on, you know, on that revenge crusade, and the little cameo from Captain America were the two highlights of the episode for me.
That was pretty dope though. Captain America showing up out of nowhere, like
yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, and then you know, but they did show how useless Captain America can be because he needs to do everything by the books. And you know, he's just kind of letting things happen because he doesn't have, you know, orders or whatever it may be to interfere.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem with being Captain America. Like, you know, fucking regardless of what you, and this happens in the comic books all the time. When he decides to do the right thing, it's like the America has to stop him and be like, well, you represent America. You're going to send a wrong message to our allies, you know, if you intervene. And then, of course, Captain America has to fight America too.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, it's like Captain America said. He was like, if I go up in, what was he say, like Tijuana or something like that, and you know they see this outfit,
eat the worm.
Yeah, like they see this outfit, like, man, they're not gonna be happy because I represent America. Yeah, I was like,
but I love how they tiptoe around that. Like, I mean, it's bad optics. The president telling Cyclops it's bad optics for me to get involved. And get involved in what? Like, man, it's a fucking genocide happened over there. You can't.
It is. Yeah, like,
but again,
you people,
they do such a good job of like showing you how perpetually fucked the mutant race is. They will always be hated, and no matter how much you think somebody's on your side, they're not really on your side. You know what I mean? Even Captain America, like, you know, he wants to do the right thing, but he can't. You know what I mean?
As soon as you know that you try to do something remotely good, they're gonna be like, black people, you know, black people.
Yeah.
It's like the mutants, they just get shit on no matter what, which is kind of funny. I saw like a YouTube or Instagram like short or whatever, or reel, and somebody was talking about like how fucked up of a world is this? Like, holy shit, dude! You just literally caught you had this one guy throw a car, you know, off the track. Another guy used ice to, you know, stop, you know, to make a ramp to the car to slide on. Like, man, you know, that's really cool that they save these people. But fuck these mutants. They do cool shit, but we need to kill them. Like, it's kind of weird. It's a weird world to kind of think of. Like, you got these people. Now, I kind of understand it. Like, if you're a human, like, you got no abilities, but you got these motherfuckers that can, like, literally wreck your shit. Like, you know,
like
it's scary. It is scary.
If you're a regular human being, it is like, I'm no mutie lover. I'll just put that out there, right? But it's scary because you don't know who's a mutant and you don't know what they're gonna do. And you got motherfuckers like Magneto running around trying to tip the axis of the world. Like, that doesn't help. That doesn't fucking help. Like, right?
You're just trying to go to work. You're just trying to go enjoy your life. Like, hey guys, I'm just gonna smoke on the barbecue.
You sit there, you go like, you know what? I do support the Sentinel program because, you know, somebody's got to do something about this shit because dude is fucking giant fat guys running around like absorbing people into his belly. So like, what are you gonna do? Like, I mean, this shit happens.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. The anyone could be born with the mutant. They could be anyone. So like, yeah. So yeah,
anybody
it is
can
an
be
interesting.
bitten by a bug or something. That can happen too.
Well, Bandito Max says, imagine Spider-Man chucking the car you just bought at a giant bipedal rhino and he misses. Fuck Peter Parker. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna
fuck Peter Parker. Yeah. Fuck New York City. Fuck giant guys in rhino outfits.
How does insurance work at that point? Like who picks up the bill?
They did reference.
Like
reference this.
Did they?
Yeah, there's in Marvel they have they have a
Acts of
group
God.
called they have a group called Damage Control.
Damage Control,
which,
yes.
Yeah, which is specifically I think they're funded by like Tony Stark and stuff to like clean up the aftermath of these events, and that's where your insurance and stuff like and then they talk about I forget what it's called in Marvel Universe. There's a reference for the insurance casualty that you'll need, like it's like acts of super violence or something like that. You know what I mean?
Acts of mutant activity or something like that.
Well, I mean, it would cover everything from your mutant activity to your Galactus showing up and stepping on your vehicle. Yeah. I think it's like something specific to like if you live in New York City, you're paying a lot for fucking superhero insurance.
Jesus,
shit. Like you're paying like for a studio for a condo, CO condo with a shower in your kitchen. You're paying $4,000. I literally saw a video of that today. A guy was showing a studio apartment with a shower in the kitchen. Absolutely horrendous living conditions in New York. Yeah.
Well, it's New York, baby.
And then on top of that, I mean, you're getting, random sidekicks fighting and mystic arc people fighting, and they decide to take your wall and turn into a giant hand to fight some superhero. It's like, it's crazy. It's
and
absolutely
the rent
crazy.
There's like $2,000 or something like that for like a very small apartment in New York City.
Well, the one I was just telling you about, it was $3,500 for a fucking shower in your kitchen. Absolutely horrendous. And then, the bathroom was absolute dog shit too. I don't think even had a sink in the bathroom.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you wash your hands like right when you washing off your vegetables. Just go and wash the poop off your hands too. More fertilizer to help them grow. But it is crazy. Yeah, I just it's such a weird world to live in. But I mean, obviously, this was a Stanley's way of talking about civil rights and this, that, and the other, and minorities and so forth. But it's a weird world where you can see motherfuckers saving people in a car with fire and ice and all this other bullshit. But they'd be like, man, yeah, that's really cool, but yeah, fuck these guys. Like, I kill them all. Like, I just want to be a regular ass Joe. Let that baby burn in the building. Fuck the ice guy that can go and save it, or the wire guy that can shoot wire from his fucking nostrils and shit. Like, no, we don't want to see that. Like, it's a crazy world. But I mean, I do like, the thing is, I think we talked about it in the last episode where Cyclops he's pretty much snapped. Like, the goody two shoes guy who they've always cucked in every episode. Cyclops is, I really like his character in this.
Yeah, it's been good. He's been real good.
Really good. And like they gave him depth. And I can remember from the old X-Men, it was very generic kind of characters. Like,
yeah.
And like Cyclops is just being a goody two shoes. Like this Cyclops is like fed up of shit. And I like that. Like, and he even recognizes that, like, damn, this is what the professor had to deal with. Like Cyclops is kind of having to be the face of the X-Men. He's just tired of it.
To me, my X-Men.
Yeah, I've watched that scene where he fucking gets out of that Blrd and he does the concussive blast to land. God, that gives me that still gives me such an erection, because that is such a fucking badass scene. But yeah, no, I really like, and I'm starting to like, honestly, I'm liking the fact that they're dealing with some little complex relationship issues.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's still like, well, firstly, they get to meet their son. Well, who's background?
So it looks like Cable.
Oh, it's
me.
Yeah,
are you watching a video?
Yeah, you are.
I'm not watching the video.
Your screen's flickering like crazy.
What was that sound?
Oh, well, there's this thing flickering in the background, but there's no audio to it.
Tell.
That's not me. I just said that. But anyways,
Crap,
crap, what was I going to say?
Huh? I'm gonna fucking talk to grandma.
Oh my goodness.
Was it
Anyways.
Grandma? Was it Grandma?
It is.
Oh, grandma.
Yeah, see?
Holy
It's been this
shit. My
entire
bad.
time.
It is grandma.
Grandma, we love you, grandma.
All right, yeah, that's
we
all
love
right. That's
grandma,
cool.
yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
Don't want
fuck
that shit.
Ed
Well,
Burton.
Anyways,
Yeah,
anyways,
fuck
Fuck
it.
grandma, yeah.
Surprisingly, one character who is one of my favorite in the X-Men has not really been shown, I would say, the proper treatment, and that's Wolverine.
You think so?
Wolverine's overrated.
Yeah.
Overexposed.
Wolverine is overexposed. I'm
way overexposed.
I think
glad
that
to have a small break.
Yeah, I'm glad that all the other characters are getting to step forward, because Wolverine is, he's a perpetually cool character, but like throughout the whole old animated series, his background is explored extensively. So we don't need to, like, I mean, he's there, and I'm sure we're gonna have some good Wolverine episodes in the future, but this stuff really, I'm glad Cyclops getting his due, Rogue is getting her
I'm glad
due,
too.
Jean is getting her due, Storm is getting her due. Like fucking these characters didn't get the love as much as they should have. And there's some complex shit that they can really have fun with in storylines. And we didn't talk about it. I'm so glad she's still alive. Emma Frost.
Yep.
She started her secondary mutation. So that's in the friggin' animated series too. So maybe we'll see Beast with secondary mutation too. So it's cool to see her in her diamond form. Yeah. So she survived, and they said that they still haven't found all the survivors, or still sifting through the rubble. So we'll see who's alive and who's dead. By the way, fucking they killed Leech, the little kid, the little Morlock kid.
Oh, he is dead.
Oh yeah.
How do you? When did you find out he was dead?
There's a little in the memorial. There's a picture
of
Leech.
Memorial. They have a picture of him and the other.
How could you kill a kid? He's like the mascot for mutants.
I would to see a body though, because I mean,
people
thought Magneto's dead.
Yeah, a lot of Leech haters out here. Fuck.
No, I'm not a hater. No, I think it's a cool kid, but
I don't think it's cool. It's a little bit annoying. I just thought it's fucked up to kill a kid, but like fucking, I'm no Leech fan.
But the thing is, okay, so yeah,
fuck.
I'm confused by this. How did Leech die if Magneto he was protecting them?
Slipped on a banana peel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking not.
That's what I'm kind of
I don't know, but I can just put up a little picture of Leech. So maybe his dumb ass will show up again. Look.
And how did Magnus get captured too? That's another thing.
Yeah.
Like,
good question. We don't know. So, but definitely Gambit's dead.
Gambit,
Gambit's definitely dead. I mean, it would undermine his sacrifice if they brought him back to life.
I think they're going to bring him back in a different capacity. I think that they're going to.
I hope not.
I think what they're going to do is do something with, obviously,
clones
with time travel, where he survived, or he gets brought back, or they change the events from Genosha ever happening, and then they're all peaceful and so forth, and everybody forgets except for one person. Probably Rogue or something like that. I mean, Rogue has a pretty big role. If depending on what comic they have, I mean, Rogue has a pretty big role, especially in the future.
Look, here's the thing. Look, what you just said. I expect them to do that, but I really hope they won't do that. So we'll see where they end up.
What are you talking about?
Oh, like changing the what you just said about Gambit.
Oh yeah.
Travel and stuff like. I hope they don't do that, but I could see them easily doing that. It just seems like this particular group of writers and creators are a little more outgoing in terms of how they want to tell their stories. So like I said, no better X-Men story than when your X-Men are against the wall and everyone hates them. Same with Spider-Man. There's no better story. You don't want I was joking around about everyone jokes about it. Peter Parker's boring when his life is going well. Sucks.
Yeah, sure.
And when he's got his girlfriend and everything's great in his life, boring.
Yeah.
He needs to lose his job, fire this man for whatever he's doing.
Uncle Ben gotta die.
Uncle Ben's gotta die.
Yeah.
He's gotta be back on his rent, and his girlfriend, he's gotta have girl problems, and Aunt May's mad at him.
He never gets those pictures of Spider-Man.
Well, he gets them.
That's
not the way he wants it though. His camera gets smashed by, I don't know, Vulture or something like that.
No, he gets the pictures, but J. Jonah Jameson doesn't pay him anything for the pictures, and he takes it anyways because he's a bitch.
Wow,
straight bitch.
All right, Blurries, X-Men, Bright Eyes.
I'll give it a 7.
7, solid shit. I will give it a. It was really good. I liked it a lot. 9. I liked it a lot. 9. Really good shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Ed?
Well, I'll say this about Gambit. I'm a big Gambit fan. I think it would be not good for the story if they did bring him back. I think it will lessen the blow of the story. So I hope they don't bring him back as much as I love Gambit. But I would give this an 8.5.
Okay. I think that's fair. I would give this a solid 9. This was maybe a 9.5. This was a solid episode. Great cliffhanger. Leaves a lot to be desired for sure. And I think they're doing a really good job. Not just the story, but the story content, but also the pacing. I was not expecting to progress so far in the story of. I mean, we saw Cable,
and it feel comfortable. It feel like you're getting it good. Like nothing feels rushed or anything.
Absolutely not.
Like it's a steady pace. Also, we didn't talk about it real quick. The whoever they got for the voice actor for Bastion, really good. I like the way this guy's cadence is. Like really
super confident. Yeah, super confident.
Yeah.
No worry. You see Mr. Sinister like, we should have did this instead. And Bastion's like, hey, that was all part of my plan. It's like, I got it, baby. Don't worry about it. Let me rub your shoulders. Hey, go ahead, Mr. Sinister. I'm about to get real Nancy, baby. Like, yeah, I love his voice. I think the voice acting for this has been really great. I've loved it thus far. And even though the one thing that I think that made this episode really great was the fact that Rogue snapped. And actually was willing to kill what's his name? What's that dude's name?
Boulevard Trask.
Boulevard Trask, yeah. The fact that she was like killing him and everybody, and then you have what's his name talking about Morph talking about what'd you do? What'd you do? Like, well, actually, we all wanted to do that shit. So, and I'm thinking like, damn, Gene could at any point in time be like, no, Rogue, and saved him. Nobody lifted a finger to save him. So I kind of enjoyed that. Rogue out here being a little bad thing. I fucks with that. So
she lost 2 dudes. One she was in love with. The other she was questioning, or rather, she was having physical relationships with.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, two dudes in one night.
Well, yeah,
you know about that, Ed. All right.
Yeah. I would not.
As favorite pastime on Friday nights, like two guys at one time.
The EDX, that's the EDX special, I believe.
Yeah, EDX.
All right, EDX. Wrap it up. Take us out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as your world undefeated.
Definitely defeated.
Yeah,
like
you are highly disputed.
Your world undisputed, undefeated. Blrd.
Definitely
podcast.
under review. Put an asterisk in that by that.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Ed Underground.
Your guy's name.
Who? No, I'm trying to do a Paul Heyman.
All right,
go ahead.
All right, Ed.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's your world Blrd podcast champion. It is good to see you here. And you can catch us next time on the Blrd podcast of episode 123, where we'll be talking about X-Men 97. This is 22. I said next time.
Oh, next time 123.
Yeah. Keep it together.
Yeah, keep it together.
This is why I'm the world champion. Anyways, you can catch us here on twitch.tv/Blrd podcast or listen to our wonderful voices on all major podcasting platforms. Until next time, as your champion returns, acknowledge me.
All right, blur you later.
Blur you later.